Welcome, everybody, to Gfinity. This is Rocket League Central. I am Ninja Rider. I'm joined tonight by a very, very special guest, Jethro Tull of the Beer League. How are you, man?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic, and I'm very much looking forward to this game here. This is my inaugural match, and it is going to be an exciting one indeed.
Yeah, this is going to be absolutely insane. Vertical Sweep versus League of Legends with a Z. We've seen Vertical Sweep all over the place. MD22 and Cat Dog playing tonight. They've been all over the community trying to make a splash, and they're going to have to go through a team that, well, it's LOL. Let's face it.
Well, it's not only LOL, but I'm wondering about the name itself. League of Legends, isn't that kind of a traitorous type name to do? I mean, that's a big competing type of environment out there. They name themselves in Rocket League, something like that. Already, I'm personally favoring Vertical Sweep, but I'm just going to be subjective about this.
Yeah, it's a little bit tongue-in-cheek, I think, here. Dan and Speedy Sloth on that team, so should be really awesome just to see what they can do against a team that we know in MD22 and Cat Dog. Both of those players have played together quite a bit, and I've already sent the command, or not the command, but I've already let the Gfinity admins know to send them in. So we'll get these guys out onto the pitch and get these guys going. So, Jethro, why don't you introduce yourself a little bit?
Well, I am one of the main casters over at the Fridge Network. You can find us on thefridgenetwork.com, but really what we like to do is a lot of the old Rocket League. And it looks like this game is just about to get started, so I'm not going to talk about myself much longer. I'm more interested in seeing what is going to happen here as this play gets started. Let's set the clock to 5 minutes. Vertical Sweep in blue, League of Legends in orange. Good luck, players, as the ball goes out on the orange side, indicating a win for MD22 and RCD. Quick drive in there by RC. It's going to drive off to the corner. Dan chasing after that, and a good wreckage by RC. Turning around and not bothering to go after that ball. MD goes in, and it's going to be a cutoff sideways. That's going to bounce off the orange zone. Kanging in hard ways on the head map is a nice way to try to get a goal in here, but there has been no direct attack yet on this orange team, despite the fact that we are seeing a decent effort early on by Vertical Sweep. Nice shot there, and it is going to get turned away by Speedy Sloth. Look at RCD swinging in now. RCD and MD, nothing but acronyms between these two crews on the blue team. Vertical Sweep so far in command of the game. 4 minutes, 18 seconds remaining. Speedy Sloth bringing it right back down onto the ground. That's going to be a back pass over to Dan. He misses up on that. MD22 is able to bring it right back out of the zone. Here's MD looking to move it in. That goes right off the post. And a nice swing out there at the last moment. That saves the play, and play does continue with 1 minute consumed. Finally, a chance arrives for this orange crew, League of Legends. They can't quite complete the deal, though. And play continues with the ball going into the mid-drip. Gonna get a nice hit right off there off the blue side, passed off the back end. MD22 now with Dan trying to make a move. MD moving up on the play. He's gonna ride it off the hood. Can he get it? No, sir. Nice rejection there by Speedy. MD looking to come in. He's looking a bit dry on the fuel. RCD feels the pain. He went in as well and couldn't quite complete the job either. Now the ball rolls up to the roof and comes right back down. Here's MD22 moving over to Dan, and RCD chasing after that, going right after the hole, and it almost goes in. RCD not quite able to do anything other than be incredibly awesome than that play as we pass the time of pi. 3 minutes, 14 seconds. RCD goes in for it. My God, Speedy with a nice save right there. Just over 3 minutes. RC finally gets the goal. What do you got to say? This is nothing but RCD so far.
Vertical Sweep coming in hot and strong, trying to get League of Legends to just make a mistake, and right there had him completely confused. Ball was centered in everybody's sights, and all RCD had to do was just get there in time, just like he will right now off a kick.
Okay, what do you do about that, right? I mean, that's kind of a jimmy when you get it off the ball right like that, but RCD so far, MVP of the game, 3 minutes.
I mean, there really isn't much you can do. Dan just found himself in a weird spot, not expecting that, his teammate was going to miss that. It very rarely happens, but the nice little fake kickoff will net them another goal.
Make that another one. Okay, MG22. So what started out really, really good, and I should say that it's a testament to the defense brought out by Vertical Sweep Blue, by League of Legends. They've been riding on the defense this entire time, and now 3 unanswered goals out of the Blues has got to be demoralizing for this team.
Yeah, maybe, but luckily it's a best of 5, so they have plenty of time to figure out what they need to do next, and most of that having to be these defensive rotations really just breaking down hard. But vertical sweep going to try to extend the lead right now.
Very, very true indeed. And you can see how often it'll happen where one team screws up in the first game and they come right back strong. Wouldn't be surprised if this happened here as RCD waits for that ball to get hit by Speedy. It's going to be a bit of a mess up. RCD bumps it out forward. That's going to be picked up by Dan. Going in off the head mat. Dan chasing after that. MD, no defense, but it's A-okay as the ball goes just across the net. Curls up and comes right back down where MCD is right there into the midget and back on over into the far corner orange zone. Once again, this ball making itself a comfortable home in the orange side. This is not a good thing indeed for League of Legends. Their defense has been proven, I think, despite the fact that they got 3 goals against them. But what you can't see is much of an offense coming out of them here with Speedy picking up the fuel on the side, RCD on the other end. He gets that just out of the way in time. You can see down there trying to come in on the help. Back plays, has nobody following up with that. And ND22 now goes to make a move for it, jukes it over, goes and hits the back end. Oh, and it drains the sink. That's going to be RCD once again.
Look at this right here. MD with the solo plays coming out, flipping and flopping all over the place. Speedy Sloth definitely kept up with it, but Dan needed to get back in time, and he could not, as RCD rocking the Paladin, I believe that is, going to follow this in, and 4-0, a near stomp here on League of Legends. I'm seeing in the chat, Vertical's still warm compared to LOL. I don't know, man. I think LOL might be a little bit out of their game on this one.
Let's go with the ball up around the corner where Speedy Sloth is going to completely miss out on that. Dan comes in on a last save. Hanging on to nothing but a 4-point lead here with 1 minute 22 seconds left. Vertical Sweep dominant in every way, shape, or form in this game. And it really does come down to almost not so much a skill level, but a team-based level. RC and MD doing very, very well, coordinating their attacks as they go. Off the back wall as the ball bounces in, that's going to come in nice and high and wide. No really able to follow through that up with nothing more than a volleyball strike as ND222 brings it up into a mid-drip. Now he's going to guide that in. RC blocks out his teammate. Not quite sure if that was a cocky move or just a mistake, but the ball's heading off in the wrong direction anyway. Here's Speedy coming in. MD22 gives that a taste of the old back bumper, and play continues. Now right up in front, that rolls in. Speedy gets the goal. Finally on the board with 40 seconds left.
Yeah, RCD did not get a great clear on that. Dan having the dunk. Pretty much that's how it is. MD thought that his teammate was going to advance the ball quickly, and with plenty of time, they're probably not that worried about it, but League of Legends wanting to build some momentum for the next game.
Yeah, well, building momentum for the next game is fine, but the points they take with them don't go into the next game. That's the part that sucks. Maybe some psychological joy would be the only thing they can get out of this, as one more point would be a good way to bring them out towards that. Unfortunately, the ball likes to live right in this zone, nice and deep going in. There's MD22 with only 22 seconds left, a 5-1 game. Yeah, this one's all over. We're just waiting for the next round to start.
I wonder if anybody's getting their Speedos out for the old Brazil trip. The Speedy Sloth right there. That's the defensive rotation I'm talking about. These guys don't really seem to have that quite comfortably yet. Speedy Sloth came from the other side, who would have been able to knock that in with a little bit of speed. But now 5-1. Again, looking for
there we go.
Nope, sorry.
No, that'll work out right. And you know what? You're completely correct. I don't think it's a skill problem that this League of Legends group has. I think it's a coordination problem. They just don't know each other's chemistry that well, or at least not as well as we're seeing from Vertical Sweep. And the result is showing up in the score.
And it's showing up brilliantly, actually. Unfortunately, Vertical Sweep, like I said, they do play together a lot. So, like you said, it could be just a chemistry issue.
Yep. Here we go with 5 seconds left to go. Slam that right back down to the ground. They just want this. Can't say I blame them. And as the ball finally hits the ground, if it hits the ground, there's MD22 bringing it up in the corner. RCD liking to keep the play alive. Finally, it's going to drop before almost going in. Vertical Sweep, congratulations. You've won the first game. Not bad. Not a bad little start, I've got to say. I'm liking this crew, MD22, RCD. I do know those players from other areas. And so it's a small world after all, for sure.
Recognize the names. Yeah, MD22's been all around the community for the last few months, for sure. But RCD, I'm not quite sure I've actually seen MD22 play with RCD before. I think I know him as Cat Dog, who I've seen that guy before. So
okay.
Definitely possible. I know there's like 5 or 6 people on the vertical sweep team, I should say.
It makes it that much harder when players are changing their names, right? Like, I mean, we have such a big community as it is that, you'll have some players, they for whatever reason, they haven't quite figured out their identity yet, or they go ahead and change names every once in a while. And it makes it that much harder because there are some really, really good players out there. And it's unfortunate that we can't track them as accurately as we might want to because they do that.
Well, yeah, that's true. But luckily for us, at least, Vertical Sweep has been together for, oh man, how long have I been doing Gfinity now? Quite a while.
Hey, like I say, I've been doing the RLBL now for a long time. This is where I know them from, and yeah, they're consistent. That's great.
Yeah, and luckily MD22 is just phenomenal. When he gets going, you're probably going to see quite the spin cycle. But we've already started game 2.
Well, if he hasn't even started to go yet, and the result of the first game was a 5-2 win, then I want to see what's happened when he finally gets moving here. Right away, the ball in his fresh play is in the orange zone. No big surprise there. MD22 chasing after it as it goes back on the back end of the blue side. He's going to bring it out and right up on the forward challenge. Nice juke over defender number 1 as Stan goes to pick that one up. A little bit of a fuel pickup for him. Makes you wonder what his fuel tank is looking like. Here we go with RCD. Nice rejection there. Is going to come back in as Speedy Sloth, finding himself once again in the same spot as before. That is panicking in defense. There we go. And Dan giving it a strike. That's going off high on the back end and now played off the side. MD22. Good chase on the head mat there. Gives it a good strike. RCD. And that goes in. This is the start of a continuation of a pattern we have seen since the first game.
First minute of the first game. I like how MD22 and RCD just hanging out, doing whatever they need to do. If they are not sure on a shot, they don't even go for it, as there was a couple of opportunities already to be had. They just didn't go for it. Now, when one presents itself that was going to definitely result in a goal, they go for it. Confidence here on Vertical Sweep side.
They definitely do seem more calm, cool, and collected as the ball goes near to their own zones and trying to put it into the danger. As MD22 is there to bring it up right up along the wall. Collision ensues, no destruction, but the ball goes perpendicular back out to the blue side. RCD there to respond. Now Speedy Sloth misses out on the play. It's going to be Dan coming up. 1, 2, 3, 2, 6. Dan to you as he passed that back out to Speedy. And coming in on the other side, nice passing play going on back and forth here on this orange side. That's something we did not see in the first game. Speedy Sloth trying to recover as possession of the ball is now in danger. RCD trying to come in on there, but there we are right on the side of the net. Can't quite do it. Ball in the corner. 3:19 the time to continue as RCD close it right up on the other end, and Speedy Sloth let that one go right up into the corner instead of dangerously towards the net. Driving it into the side here, trying to move forward. There we go with the pass, and it's going to be Dan getting trashed down the play. MD22 getting responsible for that, but look at this. Guides it in like a porn star. 2:57 the time on the clock, and 2-0 is the score. You got to love those goals where the player just glides that one in, chases it to make sure Honey comes home safely.
What? I mean, there really isn't much to talk about. MD just like, okay, got it, and throws himself towards the ball and into the net with it. I like how he positioned his car around to make sure that the defenders can't get to it at all. And I don't know if the servers are ripping, but RCD again.
This guy is literally on fire, perhaps. There's something wrong with him. We can definitely confirm that. Maybe the adrenaline rush from getting the first early goals has led on to this stance at 2:46 now. 3 unanswered goals in a row here by MD22 and RCD of Vertical Sweat, or Sweet rather. Although I like Vertical Sweat just a little bit better. Here we go with the ball right up in front. It's going to be Speedy letting that one glide right out in front of the hole. RCD chasing with a nice check sideways bounce to MD22. Can he T-bone that? He does get it. Coming back on the collection, picking up the fuel on the way down with halfway mark now consumed. MD22 tries to pass it back down, turns into a shot by Speedy. And that's going to get redirected just wide on the other side. Chasing up along the wall now is Dan. And he's just going to fiddle with that, passing it up to MD22 and now bumping up over to Speedy. A little bit too gentle on the play, and that is going to be dangerous. Oh, and not quite shot goes just a little bit wide. Oh, and the response.
Oh, okay, we did not get there. Wow, RCD just in a drag race from all the way back at the opposite corner. Speedy Sloth trying to keep control of the ball here. And I think Dan was trying to just get in the way to make sure nobody crept up on him. But RCD was there. If that would have hit the noob corner properly, it would have bounced out. But not this time. League of Legends on the board.
Finally, for Christ's sake, you got to do better than that, League of Legends. You're pissing me off. You guys have got the skills to pay the bills, and they've demonstrated early on that they can communicate. They've just got to be consistent about it. One thing you see so many times with teams, especially when crap like this happens, is they start to get flustered. They change mentally. They get stressed. They think, okay, the plan isn't working. We got to do another plan. And then things just get worse. 4-1. This is getting about as bad as it can be without a full-on Brazil.
Although League of Legends actually had a great idea. Dan, if he didn't feel his backflip on that, it would have worked out. But nope, just going to take advantage of that. 4-1, like you said. Anybody else packing their bags?
Yeah, pretty much. Hey, let's go on here and call our bookies. Tell them we got to take these backsies as Dan gives that one a nudge on the side. Tries to work it in. Good effort there by Dan. Ran out of thrust on the play. MD22 is going to make it happen with a good move there right in front. Dan can't quite get it. RCD now is going to get control past Speedy Sloth as he tried to wrestle control. Look at Dan. Oh, go Dan. Yes, Daniel, you are the man. 109. I am proud of Dan. That's only the second goal. It's totally over. I don't care. That effort is a winner in my books.
Oh, it's not over yet. Dan and Speedy Sloth definitely have something left in the tank. 4-2. There's a minute left. Anything can happen, Rocket League. They could easily tie this up. They might even win it if Vertical Sweep can't gather themselves back up.
Oh, you're giving me the vapors now. Don't get my hopes up like that. 4-2 is a big pile of points to try to overcome when you've got a team like this. MD22 and RCD have been consistent in their play, and they're going to be consistent like this as well. We can only hope that we get a nice fluke like that. Look at Speedy Sloth collecting the ball. Can he get the juke? No, he can't, but the ball stays right in front of the hole. There's RCD to make a save on the play. Speedy Sloth leaving go, and that's going to be Dan coming up on the back end. 34 seconds remaining in regulation. 4-2 continues to be the problem we've got here. Let's have it come right out to the goal, right up on the crossbar, now out in front. There's Dan. Nice shot by RCD. That one's low and wide. RCD up again. That's hit the back crossbar. Look at him guide that one in. That was nicely done right there. And only 17 seconds left to go. That's a lockdown. I do believe the 5th of 6 screws you need for the coffin.
6 screws. I usually like to put 10 in my coffins. I'm just saying. But, yeah, that was probably going to be the nail in the coffin. Not too much time left here for League of Legends to gather themselves back up. But they might be able to gain a little bit of momentum, or at least keep their momentum going for the next game, and maybe even force a couple mistakes from Vertical Sweep like they did in this one.
Oh, yeah. They've kind of got things right this time. They got the flow happening. I would like to take the second half of this game and make it the next game entirely, and that might turn into a much closer round than what we got over here. But it does result 5-2 once again. I think it was 5-1 in the first game, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. We were close to a Brazil on that, and this one definitely it wasn't a stomp by any means. I think League of Legends played much, much better this time around. And this isn't even like I want to say a console versus PC type thing. I mean, League of Legends is hanging in there at this point. And I've noticed lately throughout the community that consoles have really started to up the ante when it comes to skill level and just bringing it to a lot of these established PC players, mind you. But that said, Gfinity is a great place to see that, because this is an Xbox One team.
Okay, but why do you think that is exactly? Because I don't know very many players that are good, quote unquote, that actually stick with mouse and keyboard. They too use a joystick. So why is it that there's an imbalance, do you think, between the PS4, the Xbox, and the PC?
It's straight hardware. The ability to have a much higher frames per second rate and rocking the 144 hertz monitors and all that stuff. It's the same thing with every other game that happens to be on PC.
The consoles just cannot compete on a hardware front. Players kind of have to compensate using their brains, and even that isn't perfect.
Generally, yes. And the PC just makes it easier in a way, but once you hit that PC skill gap, it's even higher.
Oh, man. Well, Today I learned, and by the way, today I just learned MD20 only 3 seconds into the game. I don't even know what to say about this. I mean, we were just discussing how Team Orange was on its right groove, and this is not the way you start your groove.
Yeah, you know what? Dan wasn't quite sure what to do in that situation. He probably wasn't expecting such an aggressive response off the kickoff, but they were already down a goal. They got the work out for him.
Indeed. Shot top high there by MD22 trying to come in for point number 2. Now Speedy passing it up to Dan. Good response there by Dan. We've got ourselves a tie game. I dare say, shy of the 0-0 mark, this is the first time we have a tie game between these two teams. And right there, League of Legends, you open up an achievement bar for me personally just for that. I'm going to give you a digital hug. You just got to pursue now. Keep it up.
Digital hugs have passed. We've already into the next kickoff, tied up at 1 with less than 15 seconds gone. Good times. This would be a great game.
Oh, yeah. So far, the pace is definitely decent with both players going for it on both sides. This is MD22 now carrying it up right along his hood. Tries to juke around it. Ain't going to get fooled by Speedy. He bumps that over. RCD unable to get a piece of that. Now it's another nice shot by Dan. Whoa. Is League of Legends my new favorite team? What am I seeing here? They're in the lead.
You're watching the console guys taking a chunk out of the PC guys. Look at that from the midfield, just slamming one home. What a boomer. Can I get boomers in chat?
I like it. I like it a lot. 2-1 there. League of Legends fighting back. They're down 2-0 in this best of 5. This is MD22 bumping it up right in front of the slot. Speedy slot's going to put that right off into the corner. Let's have that go up nice and high. MD22 in the middle altitude. Double strike there, goes just wide of the net. Now we got Speedy. G's going to whiff that ball as Dan gives it a nice strike. RCD with a decent save. And that's going to leave a curling ball up around that blue side for a change. A little bit more time on the end on both sides for this ball instead of just living it up in the orange with Dan moving it up forward. Let's get Dan continuing on. Good bump past one defender. RCD is going to pick that. There we go, right around the corner. Dan is unable to get a piece of it, but a back pass from Speedy Sloth could potentially be decent if it wasn't for MD22. And in the background, Speedy Sloth just got wrecked. Nice shot there, goes just wide. And Dan saves the play as the shot goes just wide with 2 players diving towards it. MD22 looking to make another move right there. Speedy can't quite get a piece of the ball, goes right down to MD22. Nice play!
What?
RC! I know, right?
This is something that I've seen them do in threes where the person up ahead takes a pass and just stops the ball instead of laying it out and adding some speed to the shot. No, he just stops the ball, and that person who's probably full on boost at the time just slams himself into it to get it around the defender. It blows my mind every time I see that.
It's like a letter of grace wrapped in a poem surrounded by a rose. Have the ball go into that orange corner. RCD moving it up, and Speedy Slot trying to get a piece of it. RC getting harassed now. Car to car by Speedy. The play continues. A little bit of slow juggle now brings it up into the slot. And D makes a shot there, and Speedy's going to get it out. RCD coming back in on the other end, and a downward slam is going to be successful. Look at what RCD just did. No!
Oh!
Okay. They got
wow.
it here. That was stupid. That was just dumb on 4 levels. RCD gets that one curled up, and MD missed it right there.
Yeah, and Dan, honestly, Dan right there, that he's probably kicking himself right there because that was the tiebreaker. And Dan came out of net, tried to flip into the ball and had a little power to it, and it ended up whiffing. It happens, guys, but got to make sure it doesn't happen again.
I love the tension that happens when the ball's on the border. Not like that, though. This is MD22 at 4-2 now the score. Just shy of the halfway mark. Good takeaway there by MD coming in on the back wall. Speedy chasing in, but unable to get a piece of it. Is this going to be the takeaway? Is this going to be the part where we see Team Blue run away with it?
Yeah, pretty much. Chat even agrees with that sentiment as vertical sweep just establishing dominance here with just the half the game gone.
Speedy. Oh, Speedy. Come on, man. RCD took that away from you. Now MD passed it to RC. Dan with a nice save. Let's have it come right back down. MD puts it in down off the crossbar. Yeah. No need for analysis at this point. Blue is starting to walk away, and I don't think Orange is going to go anywhere.
Can I just point out how much style MD22 put on that shot to flatten himself out using the flips? I know Technically, it's
Dude,
not
the
a
guy's got a
freestyle.
hat. Look at the bowler hat. He does nothing with style.
Oh,
Oh, he's going to do it again. Almost pulled it off there. Speedy gets a redirection on the play. Just over 2 minutes left to go. Bringing it in off the mid-drift. Squeeze play brings it up high into the roof. Back down, remaining in the orange side. Another squeeze play. And once again up into the roof, but the ball doesn't know where to go except head generally towards that orange hole. Here's RC. That is the crossbar. Almost goes in with Speedy Sloth moving around. There we go with a downward slam as we got RC putting it perpendicular off to the side in the orange zone. Them going back to pick up a little bit of fuel there. Smart play, but a little bit late for that ball. That it goes off towards MD22 is going to be able to make a save. Ooh. Right up in front again. Ooh, and a nice move right there. It goes off the crossbar, down and over. Can't quite get stuffed in despite the good efforts of both players. Speedy coming in as well. And now RC on the other end. That's going to be a backwards panel shot. MD22 a little bit too late on the play. This one's in danger of going in. Nope, it's not going to go in at all. We got RC getting that popped out of there. Solid defense being thrown up by Vertical Suite here in game number 3. 1 minute 10 remaining. If Vertical Suite wins this game, that is to say Team Blue, they will win this series. Let's get a roller in there. Oh, man. MD.
Yeah, I mean, solo plays galore. Dan not expecting the shot from MD, and he even flips backwards into it. Didn't even front flip for more power. He just flips back into it, getting a little bit cheeky as MD22. Don't really see too much attitude from him, but this time he is feeling it.
Yeah, he's definitely giving that ball some ass going into the hole there as Art picks it up on a fresh draw that was won by Sweet. Just under a minute remaining. We're going to have that ball coming right back down. Nobody bothering to pick it up here for brief moments. A Speedy Sloth looks like he's got a bit of a breakaway. A little bit slow on the uptake. RCD is going to bump that down to the far corner of the orange side. And play continues as Dan picks up the fuel ball right up in front. Good save there by Speedy Sloth. There's Dan getting hit again. MD22 trying to wrestle control of that ball as it just right in front of the safety zone. It is going to continue on, however, with Dan picking up the fuel right down on the mid-trip. And very quickly, RCD from Vertical Suite comes in on the forecheck. Now play up along the wall. There's MD22. Let's bring that right back down. Almost made that work, but we got to follow through. That also failed. Good fluke defense, if you want to call it that, by Speedy Sloth. Now comes Dan, chasing it down all the way to the other end. There's a play right in front of the hole. Can we? Yes, we can. With 5 seconds left to go. Goal number 3 by Speedy Sloth. Good effort. This is the type of teamwork we needed to see all this time from League of Legends, and unfortunately, they just couldn't produce enough.
Yeah, that in Vertical Sweep, really, most of the time when they're on defense, they do quite well. And that time they were double committed in that same corner. Of course, someone's going to take advantage of it, and obviously League of Legends did.
Here we go with a play up to the roof and coming back down. There's Dan, and with the ball hitting the ground, that is it. Vertical Suite takes it. Good job, Vertical Suite. Congratulations, yada, yada, yada. RCD and MD22, stellar in their efforts for sure.
Most definitely. This one has been pretty nuts. I think we might be able to just jump into the next lobby as we already have it filled out here.
Absolutely.
The next round is going to be the semis, and we do like to do both semis here at Rocket League Central, so I'm going to back out and get this lobby going. Up next is, I love this team name, and I know who these players are. It's Zolhe and Air. They've called themselves Rompers for Men.
Rompers for Men.
Yes.
I don't know how to read that without thinking about Sears catalog models. What are you talking about, Rompers for Men? What's a romper?
I don't know, but I guess we're going to figure it out. We're going to take a very, very short break as the voices in my head tell me to do that. You're watching Gfinity here on Rocket League Central. Welcome back to the Gfinity NA 2v2 Friday night special. No, it's not really Friday night special. Here on Rocket League Central. I'm Ninja Rider. Casting with me tonight is Jethro Tull from the Fridge Network. He casts the Beer League, does all kinds of other things, but has been solo casting like crazy. So, I mean, seriously, Jethro, am I like the first casting partner that you've had? Pretty much in 2 years?
Yeah, pretty much. I've done so many games all straight up by myself that I've just gotten used to taking up both roles. So apologies for kind of jumping over that. But,
No. You did fine. I think you did all right. We'll work on it. We'll work on it later.
Oh yeah, we got to massage this thing through. So we're looking at Rompers for Men and Vex Esports. What can you tell me about these teams?
So Rompers for Men, made up of Air and Zolhe. Don't know why in chat he was saying it's basically G2, but they're not. But yeah, excellent players. I've seen them play many, many times in a variety of tournaments. Even in this tournament, these guys will be ones to watch here tonight. They're going up against Vex Esports with Frosty and Electros. K Frosty is what he usually calls himself, but K Frosty, I saw him last night in the Mythical 2v2, and it was fantastic. This dude is very, very good at this game here. I haven't seen him too much other than last night, so I am excited to see him go with somebody he probably plays with quite a lot in Electros.
Well, that's special. Now I don't know what to go with. I mean, you're telling me that Rompers for Men is good, but then there's all this potential on the other. Who am I going to favor? Who should I favor? I'm not going to, I'm trying to be all subjective about this. Tell me who I should go for.
You know what? You should go for Vex.
I should go for Vex?
Yeah, because they're fairly new compared to the team known as Rompers for Men.
Yeah.
And Aaron Zolhe. Aaron Zolhe have been around for ages. So I love watching them play. That's how I know that I should go for them. But Vex Esports looking to make a name for themselves tonight. We'll have to see how they do. And I got a feeling, Mr. Jethro, that you'll be going for those guys.
There's something to be said for the upstarty type teams. They always seem to have a little bit more gumph to them, even if they're veterans on the crew. If they perceive that there's a team above them that just might be a little bit better for whatever reason, then they will seem to want to put that much more effort into their defense, that much more effort into the offense, and somehow pull off a miracle. I can't tell you how many times I've seen one team absolutely get punished in game number 1 and then come back in game number 2. And I was really hoping to see that happen in the round we just saw between Vertical Suite and League of Legends, but alas, it was not to be.
So for those who are more familiar with the more familiar team name of Aaron Zolhe, he usually plays with Chicago. Team name known as Applesauce. They did do Beyond last night. I just looked that up. Chiefs, who was talking in my head.
You mean the Star Trek
they
movie?
Placed either 3rd or 4th. So they went way far in that one.
Okay.
Yeah, semis, definitely.
Man, we got some quality stuff going on. So if they're so great, how come they haven't shown up to the game yet?
Well, I was also just informed that Electros has had to use the restroom.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and you know how that goes sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Sometimes you're in there for hours.
Aaron Zolhe actually won the Nexus Gaming 2v2 on the 17th, according to my little wiki page here.
Wow. So we got like quality stuff going on. This just might be one hell of a barn burner, and it better be. I mean, we've got tens of thousands of virtual balls that are red and orange and white waiting for us in this arena, graphically speaking.
So what you're saying is there is a ton of blue and orange balls ready to be slammed into by cars.
Yes. Okay. But only at the NASCAR that you see that going into the crowds. I'm talking about the crowds here in this game, and they seem to be relatively well protected. Having said that, I think one day I'd like to see an arena in Rocket League where the roof is unlimited and the ball can just there's no height. I'd like to see what the game would turn into at that case.
So we've been notified that Blurry will actually be stepping in for Electros.
Oh, okay.
As I guess it's taking a little while. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting annoyed for one. I want this game to get started. You got me all pumped up, and now I'm just kind of sitting around here.
So I do want to promote Gfinity. Guys, if you guys want to just play some games with your friends, get into some tournaments. That works. Get into some tournaments and have a little bit of fun and maybe even win a little bit of cash. Gfinity.net, the competitor cups the competitor series is going absolutely bonkers right now in the Rocket League side for Europe, as well as Street Fighter. And I think I always forget the third one, but Street Fighter is absolutely popping off. Also, all kinds of other games, Halo, FIFA, Call of Duty, you name it. Gfinity probably has a tournament for it. Check it out, gfinity.net. Play some games with your friends and win a little bit of money, as we are definitely waiting.
Street Fighter's pretty cool, but I'm more of a Double Dragon man.
Nice.
yeah.
That is a way back reach.
Damn rights, man. You pick up the plywood and you beat him over the head, but then you can only do it 3 times before you lose the plywood. I mean, it doesn't get better than that. Well, it does, but shut up. I like my double dragon.
Very good. I'm gonna remake the lobby, guys, if you don't mind leaving there for a second. I just want to make sure that this was all set up correctly. You know how it goes sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Maybe if Ninja knew what he was doing.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say anything.
Yeah. I'm usually the first to bash myself, so don't worry.
Okay, so things are looking already a little bit better with people filing in. So it looks like we just might get.
Hey, I'm going to shout out somebody in the chat. Sloke has joined us tonight. For anybody who doesn't know, Sloke is literally the Rocket League wiki god. Thank you for joining us, man. Really appreciate that. I know he doesn't really like being called out, but I'm still going to do it.
What is it with friends doing things that we don't want our enemies to do to us? What the hell? Anyway, we got Zol and Air. You were talking about these guys before going up against Blurry and Frost K. I'm looking at the pings over here, relatively equal. Bit of an advantage for Vex, but I don't think it's going to matter much as we do get started here with the 5-minute clock. Bounced up high is going to be a win for this Rompers for Men team.
Oh!
I shot it. Oh, all right. You were saying they were going to be good. You warned me about this.
Extremely aggressive already. Zol finding the net. Blurry trying to get back in time, but Frost off kickoff, he went for boost, and usually that's just fine, but not against a super aggressive team like Rompers for Men.
Well, I've got to tell you, I'm reluctant to say that is going to be a marker of things to come over here. But so far, we have seen Team Blue dominating heavily right away. Zol now with the ball in the orange side. I don't think the ball has seen any sort of blue anything yet, except for the bumpers hitting it right on the nub. There we go with a backup drop by Frost K. He can't quite do much with that as Air's going to forecheck that right in. It's going to get hit out now by Blurry. His forward pass up to his teammate doesn't work, and it gets sent right back in with a high, nice pass. Look at that. 425. I don't quite think Zol intended that, but I could be a lying liar. Look at that. Sending up to the nice high part. He did follow through, in fact, with that shot. That's the second goal.
I have never seen Zol not do anything he didn't want to do. He totally meant to pop that up, and it probably was going to be a pass, but he was going to be there just in case it popped off that curve, and sure enough, it did. 2-0 already.
Yeah, I've got to say I'm correcting myself already after watching that replay. He definitely did follow through with that, which kind of frightens me for the future here of this game, as the ball briefly went into the blue zone, now chased out hard. There's Zol driving it up on a partial center play that is going to get bumped out by Air. Now Croft. What the hell is your name? K Frost K, that's your name.
I call him Frost.
Yeah, okay, Frost works too. Fine, let's go with Air. He's going to give that a bump out. Then Blurry, nice redirection, that putting it into the corner. Air can't quite get a piece of it, but does manage to knock it out to the front anyway. There's Frost, backwards bicycle kick, pass that to Zol. And Zol so far we've seen dominate every time except right there as he got defeated on the play, forcing Air to challenge Blurry in the deep corner. Finally, this ball fighting in the blue zone is going to get marked off to Frost. And it's going to get sent up nice high and sailing softly down to the ground where we do have Air trying to be graceful with it. Nice challenge there by one member, but Zol comes in on the side just before getting wrecked by Frost, by the way. I don't know if that was intentional. Doesn't quite matter. The ball bounces out right in front. Nice shot there! And Frost gets the goal. 3:15 the time. 2-1 the score. Cuts that lead in half, and Vex is on the board.
I love how cheeky this is. Blurry just kind of pops it up, and I think Aaron Zol were not exactly sure what was going to happen, but sure enough, the follow-through results in a bullet. 2-1, they're on the board, like you said, and Vex Esports showing that they are here to play.
But can they maintain the effort? It depends on what's going to happen in the next couple of minutes. The momentum has not swung strongly in any one team side so far. There we go with a nice play, hot, high and wide, and it is going to be bounced up into the corner. Nice shot there by Blurry, going out sideways, trying to keep the ball in action as it goes out with Zol. He's going to strike that out. Dangerous play right there. Had to get stopped by Frost and hit hard again as Zol followed up on his own shot. Now it's Air. He moves in for a setup. Nice hard strike by Zal. And that is not what Vex Esports wanted to see.
Not at all. Frost not exactly sure what to do as Blurry went for that ball. I really think Frost would have been better on that defensive play to use the backward to get a better clear, but not that time. And of course, the duo of Zol and Air will take advantage of that little tiny misplay and turn it into a goal. We're at halfway.
Beautiful. And we got Air going up on the second play, looking to add on to that 3-1 across the halfway mark. Ball running in, dangerous. Oh, and a last-second takeaway by Zol. The game alive, bouncing it all the way back on the other end. Blurry, no control there, and it goes dangerously close to going in again until Zal showed up again. That's yet another goal after a very close action piece here by the Vex crew. They could have got that point. Instead, they gave it up, and the reversal is ugly.
Yeah, no, they're not going to back down. They will pad their lead no matter what. And of course, the Vex Esports, like I said, they haven't quite got a ton of experience, and this is going to be one for the ages, at least for them.
So do you think Rompers for Men is going to get cocky at some point? Do you think that could be a weakness for them as they grow as a team?
Oh, totally. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, though. They're just going to have to, like you said, grow as a team, not only growing, but they're going to have to learn to trust each other, and that communication, what works and what doesn't, will have to be figured out. And obviously, they probably play with a third, and maybe they're not quite used to doing twos. And if you're so used to playing threes, that could be a thing.
Yeah, absolutely. The rotation on twos and threes are totally different. Here we go with Air. He's going to go sideways over to Zol as they venture into the orange zone one more time, bypassing the fuel. Zol trying to make a play on it. Air goes in to help out. Gentle shot stopped by Blurry. Blurry moving it up. We got Frost right behind him. Zol with a forecheck attempt. It's going to get bumped out to mid-drip before Air carries it in. And there's Air with a strike. Hits the boundaries of the border, and it ain't going to work out. Going back to the other end. Zol redirects that into the corner. A little bit of fuel pickup for him as he carries it into the high-altitude stratosphere. Trying to get it right back down. Can't quite pull it off as we do have a pop-up play with 1 minute remaining. 4-1 might turn into 4-2 if somebody had some accuracy. Instead, we got Air with the ball. And now it's going to go all the way down to the other end where Blurry is going to give that a strike on a decent move there, way up in the air. Frost going in on the side, right up in front. Let's float it right over. Frost can't quite do it. He's going to go decently, though, on a backwards pass to nobody. It's going to be back in his own zone. Zol waiting for Air to do something, and Air, nice play by Air. 31 seconds. That'll go in hard.
Look at this Blurry having to scramble back quite fast. Air just waiting for him to make a touch in case he does. He does not. And of course, Air throwing the car sideways, hitting the ball with the hood for maximum power and potential. And Blurry still scrambling. I don't even know where Frost was. He was not even close to the play.
And it's so frustrating when you're trying to stop that ball. You actually get enough of a piece of it, but it deflects into the net anyway. You start to wonder, what could I have done differently? Because it's just a little bit of a difference between saving and letting that ball go in. Here we go with the ball off the far corner in the orange side. Zol putting it up on the centering play. Blurry knocks that out. It's going to play off the high end. Blurry again playing with himself more or less at this point. Time ticking down. Zol looking to die it in. The final insult. That ain't going to happen. Air off the back end. Ball hits the ground, and that is it. Rompers for Men has won game number 1. Good work.
And honestly, pretty much all these goals have been on they've just been on mistakes. Vex making quite a bit of mistakes, whether it be rotation or just general defensive decisions. And Rompers for Men are obviously going to take advantage. Of course, they're going to. Although
you could almost get the feeling that there was some adaptation going on in the play. Just like we saw in the previous series, Rompers for Men was dominating early on and pressing really, really hard. But that changed as the game kind of progressed. So it could have been a thing where Vex was able to adapt to what was going on. And it might turn into a different result here as we go into game number 2.
Okay, we are just making sure somebody joined the match. We did have a sub in Blurry. He said he was going to only be in for 1 game, but somebody with a different name did join than we were expecting. But that will be Electros who is joining. He goes by Jinx in game.
Well, that might change the calculus here entirely. We'll see if that's actually the case. as we do get ready for this next round. Yeah, you're right. Rompers for men, they're going to be a watch here as we proceed into the finals.
I would like to mention, too, that Frost played... Let me just make sure here. Yeah, K-Frost K played under Rev Esports with Swifty last night in the Mythical Esports 2v2 and went down 3-0, actually, in the semis to Doc and Jet. Now, Jet we saw in the last setup. So, yeah, I don't know what these guys are doing.
Yeah, they're having a gay old time, aren't they? All right, with 5 minutes on the clock, Rompers for Men, Vex Esports start game number 2, and that is going to be a win for the Blues side as it goes in deep one more time. Here's Air to put it in. 5 seconds, and already we've got a marker on the board. What is up with this tournament? So many early goals, only a few seconds into the game.
You know, I'll be honest with you guys, this does not happen too often. Usually when we get to this point, the teams are very, very well matched, and I think this is one of those experience deals where Air and Zol have played together for so long, they're able to just set up the ball and they know exactly what everybody else is thinking. Whereas Jinx and Frost, they're just not quite there yet.
It's a voodoo curse, man. Somebody took the doll and just jammed it in the balls a few times. Let's get Jinx moving up into the blue zone. There's Zol. That's going to go off the backboard, bouncing out hard and deep into the blue. Orange as Air tries to carry that in. His efforts to try to massage that ball towards the net fails as all go back and forth. You almost start to get the impression of a tennis match going on here as the ball's making very hard sweeps on either color of the arena. Here we go, the nice slam down. There's Air. Oh, that's quality right there.
Wow, and the overcommit by Vex Esports is going to be, it's just going to net them complete punishment. As Rompers for Men with a nice little backboard touch, pretty basic for them. And Air had to go through a little bit of traffic to make it happen. But no bumps coming out. That's exactly what Vex should have done. Just bump the heck out of him.
Absolutely tragic for Vex Esports. Hopefully Frost and Jinx can find some better chemistry here going forward as the shot there goes high and wide. Now we got Zal moving up, and it does go up to the roof and right back down. Nice play there by Jinx. Off the wall. Nice strike again. Passing it, if you don't mind my saying. Oh! Frost disrupts the play as we are looking at something absolutely beautiful start to form right in front of the net. It does get responded. Jinx gets the goal this time. Good job, Vex. You're finally on the goddamn board.
Check this out here as Frost just getting in Zol's way. Zol could have had a block on that little chip shot, and Air just completely whiffing the play. I mean, there's just no other explanation for that. A complete whiff on Air's part, and Zol getting the block right there. Finally puts Vex Esports on the board with just about 3 3/4 minutes left.
We'll go with a high strike there off the back wall. It's going to be Zol. Nice follow-up.
Oh.
Well, hell. I didn't even have a chance. Ooh, we're having some problems, hey?
But go ahead and stay with it. It'll all come back.
All right,
Oh,
360
Zol
left
with
to
a
go.
shot.
Zol, there we go. All right, so it's done at this point. 3:16 left to go. It's almost safe to say it's over because it's not just because of the score, but the momentum is so strong on one side over the others.
Yeah.
It's done. I don't know how they're going to come back from this one.
Yeah, applesauce. I mean, Rompers for Men really just taking it to him completely, and they are not going to let up. Vex Esports, like I said before, they had their work cut out for him, and now with even a new player, Jinx is either having the time of his life and learning a lot, or he's extremely frustrated, one or the other.
The hard bounce off the roof, sending it over for Frost. He's going to lead that back sideways for Jinx, and a nice strike there. Okay. That was a redirection unintended. It was not going to go in, I don't think. Play here. That ball was looking close, but I don't think it was going to go in
Oh.
until redirected by Air.
Yeah, Air did have a touch on that. I thought he completely missed it, but upon the replay, for sure.
Touch nothing. He groped it and get it into the hole by himself. That was a total error on his part, but it's not so bad. They've got a decent space in between them. 5-2, 3-point spread. I think we're okay. Oh, yeah, we're totally okay. Now it's 6-2. Yeah. Oh, Zal. Not only are you good at fighting Superman, but you can also get in a good ball once in a while, too. And it looks like Frost has decided. I'm seeing a message up in the top left. We'll see what the results of that is.
Yeah, Frost is just praising Aaron Zoll and how good they are. Frost is extremely impressed, to be honest with you. And I think he knows that he's a little bit out of his league with this gameplay. And with half the game gone, there's already been 9 goals scored. 7 of them for Rompers for Men.
Ah, God damn it! You're right. You're right. It's Zod and not Zol. I don't know my Superman lore. I'm gonna have to sharpen up now. Thanks a lot, Wacky Viking. 7-2. This is gonna be another shot towards the net as we cross the halfway mark. Cut sideways into the blue end, and it's gonna come right back on down nicely. Here we got Jinx. Can't massage it. Zol is there. Not the guy who killed Superman. But instead it is Air picking up that ball into the far corner and bringing it up. Nice little gentle waft. Can we get a downward strike on that? Nope, we can't. Ball going to continue on. And now it's in Jinx's possession. A little bit of a rub there. It's going to make Air give it a strike off to the side. The misdirection wrecks up the offensive play and leaves it up to Zol. Zol looks to go in. Can't quite get there fast enough for the cut. And instead the ball goes down to the other end where Air wafts it up to the roof. Down around that curve and back to himself. Is there any place where Zol is not? Is the question I'm starting to ask over here.
Well, right there.
Here's in the camera. Bumped up and coming back. There we go. Jinx gets the goal. Did Jinx get the original hit or just the last one there?
Well, you know what? Zol kind of messed it up coming off of the backboard, and K-Frost K was there, completely just had him covered just in case something like that happened, and he did. So a bump came out, knocked around Zol a little bit, and of course Jinx is there just in case something like that happens, and it was a great play, made it count.
Whatever works, but it's a 4-goal spread with 1:35 left to go. I'm not liking the odds of the ball right back down for Zol. There's Air making sure it's safe. Jinx racing in on the play as well, causing enough confusion to keep that ball right in front of the slot on the blue zone, only to get knocked down long on the other end. Nice follow through there, but Frost read the play and gives that a strikeout down to mid-drift. Now here's Air. He's going to go up with an aerial bump and then continue on with a downward hit. Oh, no. Frost K is going to knock that one out on the other end. And here comes Air. Air with a bump up on a squeeze play to send it up to the roof. Jinx sending out sideways, continuing on that flow towards the blue side, but can't even make it to the halfway mark. Let's have it come right back down where Zol's at. Frost is on it. And now fast forward up to Jinx. He missed out on that as Air deflects it. A lot of interruptions in the play going on here, but this just might turn into a goal. Yep.
It will.
You know, I'm going to give that by bonus respect points for rolling it in nice and low. It is so hard at this caliber of play to roll in a goal on the ground like that. So I'm going to give you 5 respect points. Good job, Frost.
Oh, yeah, totally. And they completely juked out Zol and Air. They just stopped and knew that ball was going in. There was no reason for them to chase it at that point. It just didn't get in the way just quite enough. And, of course, you have to take advantage whenever you can. A little bit of momentum for the next game. They said they will play, and they said they will keep playing. And here that we are. It's a 3-goal game now with 30 seconds left. You never know what will happen.
Well, momentum. They're going to lose this one, and they're going to be down 2 in the series. So they better pick up their socks and pull down their pants if they want to do good in this next round. 15 seconds remaining in regulation. Here's Zol. Shot goes just over the crossbar. Jinx deflecting that. Ball coming up and down. There's Air following through. He can't quite get the block on it. Frost forces it down. And as it goes off the side wall, that is going to end the clock. Oh, no, wait a minute. Jinx gets a final goal. A little bit. He just basically did the punch the guy just before he knocks you out in a bar fight. 5-7 is going to be our result. And that's not too bad, I guess, but bad enough to qualify for 2 losses in a row. Rompers for Men in the lead in this series, 2-0.
Yeah, definitely. Rompers for Men just kind of taking it to him. Now, after messing around for the last 2.5 minutes or so, they're going to have to, like you said, just buckle up and finish off this series. This is still a best of 5. So Vex Esports could do a reverse sweep. And I think, Lisa in the chat saying asking for a reverse sweep, but I don't think so. I think Roberts men just completely have this one.
It might be a case of total dominance. Now, the way things are kind of flowing, this was, in fact, a stronger game by Vex Esports. But you almost get the impression that they gave up points in an effort to get points, and that's not a trade-off that's going to lead to a victory. So I don't know what their game plan is, but whatever it is they're doing, they've got to do it a hell of a lot better than they've been doing it before if they want any hope in this series against Rompers for Men.
Everybody in the chat just calling for a reverse sweep. I love it. I love it, guys. I would love to see it. I'm sorry. I don't think it can happen with the way Vex is playing right now. And it seems like in the little bit of chat that they have made so far that they seem to have kind of just given up.
Well, this certainly doesn't help on the psychological front. That's for damn sure. Here we go. 5 minutes on the clock. Once again, regulation rounds being what they are with a bounce off on the front. The draw was originally won by Orange, but the first opportunity goes to Blue. That one goes off the sidebar, and we got a play going up in the mid-drift with the ball hitting the roof, and then back on over is Jinx sending that up to his teammate. Now Zol. Going to both let that ball come down nice and slow in front of their hole, but out of the way just enough. That's going to make Jinx try to make a play there. Good hard shot right in front of the net. Nobody's able to make a cut. Jinx does get a piece of it, however. Play does continue, and this is a very different Vex team than what we've seen in the previous 2 games. We're seeing them make a camp right in the blue zone, and they don't want to leave. Here's Frost moving it up, and he brings it right back in again as Zol now has to come in on the back check. Chasing on down to the back wall. Jinx is there playing it, racing it up the wall. Now Air is on it. There's a shot going nowhere for the setup. And instead we got a high wafter that's going to leave Frost K trying to make something to happen with that. Now it's over to Zol. Zol riding it along the hood. Jinx doesn't get it because Frost did. And that results in a goal. That one there was a failure of defense right off the cuff all the way through. And nothing you can say about that other than at 3:58 is 1-0. That's it.
Yeah, pretty much that's exactly what happened. And I think that's what Zol and Air are just waiting for at this point. Just the mistakes that will come out from Vex Esports, and they're just going to take advantage of them when they find themselves on their side.
Oh, God damn it. Air, come on, man. 3:51. So no time at all has passed. We got a fresh draw on the play. And already Air is put in for goal number 2. This is not looking good for Vex Esports in their efforts to at least get 1 goal out of this thing. And I don't even think they're going to get it.
Well, and that's the thing, though, is Vex Esports are doing the classic NA, clear it out once it gets to your side type setups right off kickoff. And, of course, Air is going to take advantage of that. He's there already from the kickoff. He's already in position to take a shot, and he will take it no matter what.
Here's Frost with an attempt of his own. That shot's going to go wide, but Zol picks it up early anyway. Cut off sideways by Jinx. The ball comes right back down. We're looking for a hard hit, and we're going to find it. Nobody there on the defense. So is it that we're seeing Vex just basically commit full-on both cards to the front? Like, this is the second capitulation of the defense that I've seen so far.
Not really. I mean, Frost was back, and he was going to challenge that. And maybe he shouldn't have challenged it so quick because the shooter was already set up and ready to go. So, that's a kind of a 20/20 hindsight and something that you learn with experience. And experience is definitely what they're getting right now.
Oh, absolutely. Here's Zol. He's going to carry it in, riding it along the soft bump. A little bit too high for himself. That'll teach you. Oh, don't do that. What was that? You just stopped your own shot. All right, so 3 minutes. That could have been 4-0. Instead, we got a bit of a respite here as Vex Esports did nothing to stop their own ball from going in, and it stayed out anyway. Play continues. Now Air looking for a shot. Ooh. That is going to find the justice. That was a great shot, by the way, by Air.
Can I just say, pretty cool defensive maneuvers here by Jinx. Just hanging out in the goal. He actually stopped himself, tried to boost backwards when he realized the ball was going to get a little bit closer to the post than he thought it was going to be. He stops himself, flips backwards, and tries to boost at the ball. I'm sorry, that is awesome.
Credit where credit is due, absolutely. Even though he didn't find success in that move, he did everything he possibly could, and that's exactly what you got to win the little battles in order to win the war. and this war is not looking good. There we go. Nice defense by Jinx, bringing it right around, and he jukes it past Air. Can we see a follow-through? Oh, can we? No, we're not going to see a follow-through at all. We're going to see a defense by Zol. That bumps up, forcing Jinx to mock it out on the other end, and now Air is there. Good bump out over. Zol with a chance. Going to Jinx.
Oh!
Damn it. 2-16. It's 5-0. Nothing is going right for Vex Esports with the exception of that one really crazy save that they didn't make. What do you say to that?
That was tough. I mean, Jinx is doing so good. He's there. He's absolutely there where he needs to be just about every time, but it's just not quite enough. Like, again, right there, finally got a decent clear. I think he finally found his stride.
Finally. He needs to find more than his stride. Here we go with Frost right up in front of the net there. Oh, yeah, it's going to be a one fight once again by Blue coming right back down. Air can't quite get the cut on that play. Neither can Frost for that matter. The ball's going to come right back down along the side. There's Zol moving it in. Zol! Yes, sir. That's 6 points with 1:48 left to go. Yep.
Pretty much right there. Again, Jinx was right where he needed to be, but Zol, knowing that he just needed to place his car behind the ball somehow, and the play would have continued, and he's going to. It's kind of a standard thing to do when you're kind of solo playing like that. And Jinx, that's just the inexperience coming through at that point, and we might have a Brazil set up.
That was awesome right there. And you almost wonder if that was in perfect position to stop that ball, and he actually did look like he made a legitimate attempt to do it. But you could be right. This just might be a Brazil setup after all. Oh, man. All right, so we are currently 2 games ahead for Rompers for Men, and they are winning this game right now 6-1 with 1:35 left to go. Welcome to it if you're just getting into it. This is going to be a nice cut shot there by Zol going in, and we have achieved Brazil.
Can I just say, I see Distorted in the chat. He admitted last night while casting Mythical with me that he does own a Speedo. He better have that out right now. And you don't want that visual in your head.
Nope. Why'd you bring it up then? Thanks a lot for nothing. 1:31 left to go here with 6 points spread between these two teams as we go forward. There's Jinx missing out on a whip. Can't quite get to it. Now Air's going to go in. Oh, down. Can't quite slam it, but there's his teammate Zol. 8-1 is where we are at with 1:20 left to go. I got a funny feeling we're going to see a little bit more than just double digits by the time this one is all said and done.
I mean, it's possible. At this point, Air and Zol are kind of just practicing. I mean, and it's tough because Vex Esports, they've put themselves in some pretty decent positions. And like I said, just that inexperience is really coming to haunt them right now. This is how you get some of the best experience in Rocket League, though, by playing this tournament.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You can only beat your nephew so many times before you realize you've reached a ceiling in your own skill level. Believe me. Ball off into the corner, deep into the blue. Jinx trying to line himself up for that. It's going to be a waft shot that gets stopped easy by Air. Air going into chase after that, forcing a challenge on Jinx. That sends the ball high and on to the other end where Zol is there. He's going to slow down the momentum on that, try to move it in. A little bit of an aerial play by Team Orange, not going off too strong. The ball gets hit hard, bounce off the back end, and Jinx gives it a nudge off the roof. That's going to be a follow-up here with Air. Air. Not quite going in. Jinx knocks it out sideways. We saw Zol trying to also help out on that particular play. 30 seconds remaining here. 8-1 to go. This is all said and done. And the fat lady just sang 9-1. Zol gets the goal.
This right here was just one of those things, you know, you're just trying to set up a play and get the ball away from the defenders converting into offenders. Manages to throw it at the net as well. What the heck? While we're there, less than 30 seconds left. 9-1 already.
Fresh play and fresh moves as the ball goes up high altitude. We saw some attempt to try to carry that into the blue side, but instead, once again, this Vex Esports crew finds himself on the defense. Here's Jinx trying to move it up on a forward play. It gets rejected immediately. We got single digits remaining, but now double digits in score. 6 seconds remaining. That's goal number 10. And Zol, the man of the moment. This guy's got 7 of the 10 goals in the game. Outright dominance, and I do believe this will wrap things up in this series as Rompers for Men walk away 3 wins to nothing.
Yes, it will, and we'll the next one we will see whoever wins the next game, either vertical sweep or weird names, surprisingly. Yeah, is pretty much the tournament of weird names, will move on into the finals to face Rompers for Men, who have basically turned their Rompers into Stompers after this just tragic series for Vex Esports.
And the danger of doing so well in a series like that against an opponent is what we talked about before. It makes you mentally cocky. You think to yourself, okay, this is easy. This is going to be no problem, blah, 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 blah. Sometimes you do want to benefit from having a much closer game. That way your teeth are still gnashed by the time you're ready for the next round.
Most definitely. But I think what we're going to do is take a little bit of a break and allow Achieves, who is pushing the buttons and turning the knobs tonight, to refresh himself after such crazy things going on in the background. We're going to take a quick break. You're watching Gfinity NA 2v2 here on Rocket League Central. Welcome back, everybody, to the Gfinity 2v2 here on, well, the 26th. It is pretty much Memorial Day weekend here in the United States, and Jethro Tull is just waiting for this tournament to be over so that he can crack a beer.
I'm pretty much at that stage in my life all of the time, but nevertheless, I want to see what's going to happen here. We've seen Vertical Sweep play their game before. This is RCD and RD11, if I'm not mistaken correctly, and they have done such a great job in their earlier efforts from what I've saw. Now, this Weird Name teams, I don't know anything about. I haven't had a chance to meet Weird Names yet, so we'll see what they're all about over here, but clearly I am going to be favoring this blue side in this round.
Yeah, you might. Although
no, not might. I am totally. What you think? Weird Names is going to win it?
I think it's going to be a heck of a game. How about that? This semifinal is shaping up to be awesome. I can't call it. I honestly can't call it. I mean, Vertical Sweep, yeah, they're so good. 22 and RCD are so good together, but Jaja and Quixotic were in the chat already. They're more trash talking, but they're bantering a little bit, and they're ready to go. They want to take on Vertical Sweep.
Well, let's hopefully they can jump in quickly and we can get this thing started. This is going to be round number 1 of a best of 5 between these two teams, Vertical Sweep versus Weird Names. And once they do file in, we can watch what the result is going to be. I'm going to be an unabashed Vertical Sweep fan. I'm also get the pom-poms out right now, only because I know what they're capable of. And they may be going up against some strangers, but I really did like the style that they brought forth, because to me it was more than just individual skill. They did play to each other very well, even though they may not have had a very direct passing game. They definitely knew how to, keep the ball in one area, hold a zone, keep possession, and keep that ball moving. So, I'm thinking pretty strongly that they're going to walk away on this one, but hopefully they'll get started right away and we can find out.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though, is that Jaja and Quixotic have played together quite a bit in more recent times, at least in the past few months. These dudes are very good, and they play together quite well. Vertical Sweep will have their hands full, I think. Although they might make me eat my words, and Jethro will probably throw it back in my face.
Oh, totally. I'm just waiting for the opportunity. And that opportunity hopefully will arrive here. It looks like the players have filed in finally, so once they get started, we can get started along with them. But, MD22 and RCD, what can I say? You guys did very, very good. And with this game starting up here, 5 minutes on the clock. Good luck, members. The pings are looking nice and even, just like everything else. The ball goes off hard into the blue zone right away. Zaza and Quixotic doing decent here on the draw. Can they do decent on the play? They cannot. The ball goes into their own side. MD22 trying to lead the charge there. Ball coming up and right back down. This time it's RCD trying to make a move on that. The Quixotic can't quite do anything. Ball goes off to the side now. Quixotic, no sir. He does get a piece of that. And Zaza also does right in front of the net. RCD had to be very quick on the play to get that ball out. Now it's MD22. A little bit of a miscommunication there between the two members. Could have been an opportunity. Instead, what is this ugliness we're seeing? Screenplay instead sends the ball right up high. Zaza is on it. Going right back down. Quixotic is there. And a little bit of a gentle play. Not quite sure on the accuracy because MD22 got it before anybody else could do anything but wreck player. Zaza was the one who went down that time. MD22 with a nice move. Twice in a row getting stuffed by Zaza. And play continues with the ball off the back end. Let's get RCD moving this ball sideways off on the other end. Zaza on the defense. Oh, no, that's going to do it right there. I knew we were going to see MD show up. That ball just a little bit too hard, though, and now it's in danger of showing up on the other end. MD Easy stop on that. Missing ball is going to get rejected hard by Coxotic. And now Cox not there to grab the balls as we got RCD moving right up along the wall. Zaza. Nope, that's nothing happening. He knows how to hit that ball and get it up down the way to the other end where MD22 is at. Coxotic moving it. Now RCD as well. They're putting good pressure, keeping it in the orange zone early in this game, despite the fact that the score is 0-0. Let's move up and come down. Let's have MD hand it to nobody. That's going to be Zaza with a shot. RCD with a save there. 3:09, the time remaining on the clock, as this ball just doesn't want to find a way into a hole. That's Cox grabbing the ball. That's MD22 moving up with Cox on the stop, going all the way down to the other end off the wall. Nicely done by RCD, putting on the pressure. Can he follow through? He does. That shot's going to go low and away. Coxotic gets that one just on the other side where RCD is at, waiting for the pop-up, but Zaza is there. RCD had to play the goalie once again. Let's have it move up here. RC taking care of the body means taking care of business. You saw that too, didn't you?
Oh, that was close. What a play.
Looking for it. Not good enough. Damn it. They didn't score yet. We're past the halfway point. Zaza just got wrecked by MD22. I am surprised we're not seeing a point yet between these two teams, Vertical Sweep and Weird Names.
Well, no, of course not. These guys are just guarding the goal with their lives. I mean, Weird Names, knowing that Vertical Sweep is so aggressive when they get on the offensive end, they just guard the goal with basically all guns blaring, or boosts, if you will.
Or cars, for that matter. The aggression is a good thing to pit up on. We're seeing a lot more destructions here in this game than we have seen in previous matches. That is going to be a factor to a team not used to or ready to handle that type of environment. There we go with a nice cut play that's going to miss. Ball goes all the way back to the blue side. Minute 45 remaining in this scoreless game so far. Zaza lets it go right past him, only to get knocked out. There we go with that physical game once again, creating an opportunity. Zaza had to recover and come back quickly. Zaza again missed it. RCD looking for a strike. Coxotic is going to make the stop. And another play right up along the wall. He whiffs out, and it's going to go right into the hands of this blue crew, where MD22 tries to lead the charge, only to have Zaza not go too far with it. Now sideways up. Right up along the roof. And nothing's going to happen here until MD22 decides to make it hit a little bit harder than here. Decided not to wait long enough for that. Now RCD is going to be the challenger as Coxotic. No real offense here. Look at this. Once again, destruction is real. RCD rather, taking out Zaza.
Oh!
There's RCD with a goal. Finally, we get it happening.
There it is right there. RCD with the demo. And MD22 just set it up, knowing he's not in a great position, probably a little bit low on boost. RCD just comes flying in. He has had enough of this dilly-dallying. They are on the board.
And dilly-dallying is exactly what we've been seeing this entire game so far. Really good effort just to kind of get possession of that ball, but nothing really in the way of creating offensive opportunities. Here we go with Quixotic on a squeeze play with his own teammate. That goes to RCD, and now Zaza's going to chase after that. No fuel means no love. RCDC on the other end. Why do I keep calling him that? There's a ball, almost goes in. That one's low. Very, very close to sneaking in for goal number 2 with 33 seconds left to go. It's going to be a juke beautiful right over the opponent. Here's Zaza again. Nice opportunity. Take it if you don't mind. RCD doesn't want you to have it, though. He's going to carry that ball right on over. Zaza is setting it up for Coxotic, and instead with the ball down to the other end, it is going to be a pop off the roof. Setting it up, trying to happen, but there's no follow through. There's nobody there to try to hit it once it is bounced off the back end. And as a result, no opportunity. Zaza and Coxotic are going to suffer with a 1-0 loss in this first game once that ball hits the ground. Good job by Vertical Sweep.
Yeah, Vertical Sweep just taking the opportunity when they could. And Weird Names really just taking the fight to him. I mean, that right there was exactly what Vertical Sweep was looking for this whole tournament. Absolutely challenged by Weird Names. And trust me, those are some weird names.
And you're totally right. Challenged is definitely the right word to use as well. This game was pretty much the closest game I think we've seen here today in this tournament. So good job by Weird Names holding off Vertical Sweep as long as you could, but it is Vertical walking away with win number 1. Let's get ready for the second round.
I want to know what chat thinks so far. I mean, that right there was probably one of the closest games that I've seen in a Gfinity 2v2 in quite a while for sure. So who's going to take this one, chat? Let's see what you guys think.
All right, 5 minutes on the clock. Let's get ready for game number 2. In blue, weird names in one by vertical names. Ball heading back on down. MD22 there, right off the wall. Let's look for a strike. Zaza is going to reject it instead. And as it floats on back down, MD22 is going to decide if it's a good time to hit the ball or not. That was a long time. What the hell was that? MD22 sat there forever. Where was the defense?
Well, Jaja was cycling back, and I think Jaja was thinking that Coxotic was just going to start attacking. And when he didn't, it kind of froze him up too. So Coxotic thought he could do it right on the goal line. I'm sorry, but that was definitely not going to be Trump's wall.
So many people are just good rev. So many people are attack. Maybe that's all it takes. And look at that. MD22 with a beautiful follow-up. And how many times have we seen MD or RCD get another goal right after the first one? That's a beautiful one, by the way.
That was beautiful. Can I just mention, too, RCD is actually short for running cat dog.
Running cat dog.
Yeah, I had to look that up to make sure because I wanted to make sure it was the same person. It's got to be because it's the only person I know that would actually enter
nice save, Zaza.
with the ears on.
So does he have like a cat and a dog? Is that the whole thing with his name? Like, did you dig into it?
As in Cat Dog, the Nickelodeon TV show as Jaja
Oh,
takes the
that's
pass from Coxotic. Oh my God, they're on the board. They have definitely answered with this one. And of course, the overcommit from MD22 did not work out, and RCD could not even make a touch. The ball was moving so fast. 2-1 here in the semis.
And we need a little bit more of that kind of love from Zaza and Coxotic here, cutting that lead. Ball goes into their zone on a fresh draw. It's going to get bumped off by MD22. Now Zaza is there as well. Let's have RCD give that a little bit of a flavor as the back and forth continues. Bicycle kick goes nowhere. Nice stop there by RC. And it is going to be the ball up on the side here, just over the 4-minute mark. Play is going to be with that ball in. Nobody's there to get it. You saw Zaza sailing in and just not able to get a slice of that ball. Means we are going to continue on with MD22 looking to make a play of it. It's Coxotic up on the side. He plays it outside way back to himself. Good possession here by Coxotic. He can't quite finish the deal, though. And the ball's going to go right back over to Zaza, challenged out by RD. And now RCD is here. Sorry, Running Cat Dog is on it. And the Running Cat Dog is going to get stuck by Coxotic, who sends it right into the deep. MD22 now forward up to RC. RC going up, and Zaza with a nice redirection at the last second. That keeps the game nice and close over here with 3 minutes, 22 seconds left to go. It's a hard hit before the body got stopped off the back end. Here we go, the hole. Oh. No, MD can't do it, but RCD can. Good hard shot there.
Not quite sure what RD was thinking, or MD was thinking at that point. I thought maybe he was thinking a little bit of a bouncer. Coxotic might actually touch it, but he didn't. Now, luckily, RCD was shadowing. That was one of the only few times that you want to shadow your teammate in twos in that situation right there. 3-1.
And that was a great play. There could have been some confusion on whether or not he was going to get interference from the other guy, but it doesn't matter. With 3 minutes left to go, it still could be either side's game in this game number 2. Here's Zaza battling it out with RCD as it bounces off the side wall. Zaza once again giving it a decent hit as it pops right up and over. This is Weird Names getting a little bit of a struggle over here. They're down by a full 2 points in this round. RCD there challenging Zaza on the play. Now Weird Names moving it up, carrying it up with some fuel juice. It is going to be unable to pick up the ball on the pace rather, and as a result, we can't quite redirect that in. Nice challenge right there. The ball gets sent into the orange zone instead. RCD jumps up to get it, and Zaza knocks it out of possession. Now Zaza up to MD22. Let's go up into the corner. Coxotic, no love, is going to come right back down. Nice, hard, and violent for RCD to chase after. Can we get a cut? He cut it just enough, but Coxotic was there in the defense. Ball's up in front. Zaza out over, and MD22 is nowhere. You can see the guy right in the roof as well. He thought he had something there as well. Nothing. Instead, RCD chasing it along. 2:04 the time remaining in this 3-1 game. Ball right up in front. Volleyball bumped up high and sent back down over for MD to try to challenge again.
Oh, no, there it is.
Coxotic. Well. What do we have here but a 1-point game with Coxotic sending it all the way from his own.
And the overcommit from vertical sweep right there, just biting him in the butt. Trust me, that is not the boosting butt.
off the wall. Fresh play. Bounced off on a nice tee cut that's going to go down long on the far. Coxonic almost talks it in. We got... And Zaza's going to knock that over before we got blue team trying to make an offensive gesture. Zaza. Oh, no. There we go. There's our tie at 131. Wow, weird names did it weirdly, but they did it. They have tied up this game at 3.
And weird names just reading all these offensive plays coming out from MD22. Looks like RCD is definitely going to have to start getting much more involved on the offensive end. Either that or just some passing plays. They need to mix it up now if they want to take this. But weird names with the reads. Whoever said going to the library is a bad name. Oh my God, MD22 with an own goal.
And Coxonic just driving that in directly and forcing the issue, giving himself there, getting the bounce. That was much glory to be had right there. 1 point in the lead. Good job, Coxonic. Weird names on a fresh play here. It goes into the blue zone again. Momentum definitely being felt for this orange team. They need to maintain it for the next minute and 20 seconds in order to stay in this series. They are down by 2. Or sorry, down by 1. This is game number 2. This is going to go in. Zaza. 5-3 now.
Look at this, MB22 deciding not to clear this out and just sent it right at Jaja. And if RCD had to recover it quickly and off the sidewall, that's so hard to make a play, especially when there's traffic blocking your clear attempt. And of course, just completely right there, exactly where it needed to be. 5-3 now.
Minute 5 remaining here. MD22 looking to make it a little bit later than it was before. And then the redirection there, just enough to disturb the offensive maneuvers is all you really need to do to play a decent defense. There's the ball. Oh my God, I can't speak. There's the ball coming up in the roof. And a nice collision. Ball goes up high, RC. There's a strike. MD22 gets the goal. What a sequence of events. RCD basically taking one for the team, literally. And that set up MD so nicely.
Somebody call Michael Bay, because he would be proud of that whole sequence of events as MD22 finally stepping up with a great shot. There was somebody in goal, but he was stopped. There was no way you were going to stop the boomer.
Straight up out of transformer mode, indeed. There's Coxonic with the ball now coming in. 36 seconds left to go. Trying to drive it in here, build onto that leader at the very least, kill the clock if the ball goes back into their zone. Zaza looking to make a stop there and does so. Follow through by RCD is going to be good. Right in front. Oh, the direction is solid. And very good indeed. We do have a good hit there by NC. No, sir, says Coxonic. And he's going to bump it out in the blue zone. RCD on the other end. High Sailor, that's off the back end and deflected at the last second by Zaza. Means we got 10 seconds to remain here. Biting at the bit. Team Orange in trouble. Team Blue looking to get that goal. 3 seconds remaining. They're going to get it. MD22 gets the tie with 2 seconds remaining.
Look at this right here. RCD was on the retreat. Instead, he circles around and MD22. The communication between these two is just automatic. They're telepathically talking to each other. MD22 pops that one in for the tie. We might have overtime, everybody.
Straight up, but like in a power play mood on a hockey, this is going to be total domination that allowed the 5-5 to result. Zaza, Kixotic, MD, and RCD now going at it in overtime. Here we go with a draw one originally by one side is going to have the ball down on the blue corner. RCD waiting for the assault that never came. Zaza goes high on the wide, and it results in no shot. Coxonic there right up in front. MD22 is there to make a stop. Early attacks here going on by Coxonic, going to get rejected by MD22, and finally the ball goes into the orange zone. MD looking for a weak one. Zaza had to be careful on the play as now the body's going to get moved around on both sides here.
Ooh.
Either player able to get moving, as you can see the effect it does have not to go after the ball, but to go after the other car. RC with a good opportunity.
There it is.
Goes in 38 seconds in overtime.
Anybody coming to RLCS will know what traffic is like as they sit on the 405 trying to get to the Wiltern Theater, because RCD just showed you what it's like, slamming himself through the defense with the ball to take game 2 here in the semis.
And vertical sweep definitely having to fight so much more than they did in previous rounds. They've earned it. Weird names, vertical sweep. We go up. Game number 3 starts next. Hell of a round that time. I've got to say, Weird Names is really taking it to vertical sweep like what you're saying. But they just couldn't quite complete it.
I'm trying to get the spit out of my microphone after that game. That was insane. the insanity of both of these teams. See, I told you this was going to be too close to call.
Oh, but did I not say Vertical Sweep was going to win? And so far, they're dominating just barely.
Oh,
yeah. They're pulling. No,
whatever.
Don't give me that. Okay, weird names. They might win game number 3, maybe. But maybe. I don't think they're going to carry. They're not going to reverse sweep this one. I don't see that.
What they need to do now, really, I see that Quixotic is actually on console. So I'm not quite sure how they're communicating or if there's any sort of lag there. They're going to have to start communicating just a tiny bit better. Yeah, they were great on the offense, but once they got really swamped on the defense, it really kind of broke down. And of course, MD22 and Running Cat Dog will take advantage of that. They just will. It's their nature.
And that's the thing. It does really seem like they don't have any particular assault style so much as waiting for the mistakes of their enemies and then going on that. So we'll see what the results of this is. 5 minutes on the clock. Draw 1 by Team Orange. And right away, we got a soft pop leading to MD22 to try to drive that in down the center. That goes over to Zaza, who knocks it into the corner. MD22 pops it out for RCD, and he misses the passing play. Going back on the defense, turning around, going forward. RC looking for a forward jump. Not enough velocity on the ball, and it is going to get popped up instead. 4:38 the time remaining. Surprisingly, no score in this game already. There we go with Quixotic cutting it off sideways on a defensive move. The ball in the neutral zone. And it's going to get missed out on a high-altitude play, forcing Zaza to give it another strike. There's MD22 now. He's going to go sideways. And no real heavy effort so far between neither of these teams to try to drive home. That is going to be Zaza missing out on that one as a ball gets knocked out early by Team Blue and then again by MD22. Good challenge as he was coming down on the high altitude. Ball getting knocked up there now by Zaza. We got RCD and MD22 fading back. MD with a nice move. Juking it out past the offender. MD moving up, puts it, oh no, not quite. Can we get some follow through, Captain? Oh, damn it. Gonna go sideways instead. Zaza with the defense, and the ball goes into the blue zone. Here's RCD. Nothing too lovely about that, is it? Quixotic is going to set it up on a play. MD22 deserving that, and it comes right back down in front of the blue zone. MD cutting it off sideways. Now Zaza is there. Good hard strike off into that corner. RCD going to give it a bit of a move out. Zaza more interested in the body, leaving it up for Quixotic. MD once again finding himself in a defensive position. Let's have a whopper. Yes, sir. That'll do it right there. MD22 opens it up 3-16 on a seemingly easy-looking goal that you and I both know is very hard to pull off.
Very tough to pull off. Definitely, as he was flipping and rotating his car to make sure that he was on the proper side of that ball. Otherwise, it would have went wide. But the defenders not reading that very well. That should have been fairly easy to defend. Hard shot, easy to defend. But they did not get there in time. Let's see if they can come back.
RCD getting wrecked on the play a little bit here. MD22 on the other end as the ball hits some high altitude. Now we got it in the mid-drift with Quixotic looking to put it in there. Top shelf, good rejection. And it is going to go down to the far corner where RCD looks to respond in kind on the other end, only to see Zaza there in the corner with a little bit of a welcome mat of her own. There we go with the ball in the orange crease. It's going to be Zaza popping it up after the wall zone, picking up the fuel, and then sending it out high and softly over to RCD. RC knows what's coming up, and he couldn't quite stop it in time. Led to a bit of an opportunity there, but now it's just going to go in. No defense. RCD at the halfway point puts it up by a pair.
Yeah, right there. And that's all Quixotic. Jaja was recovering after the challenge that he was making. And unfortunately, Quixotic had a decent shot on net and just couldn't get there the way that he wanted to. And RCD extending the lead just that little bit here at halftime.
Can we get a follow through on this bumper? Nope, can't quite do it. They saw it coming and crashed into the car. That's going to leave MD22 up on the play, carrying it into the orange. Slow mover towards that net. Quixotic getting a piece of that, and a violent move sends it along the curve and down to the other end. Sharp angle shot there, and it's going to cut off sideways by Zaza. RCD looking to make a move on that as it almost went in on the one side, now almost going in on this side, hitting the post. Another shot set up. Zaza squeeze play with his teammate, goes up. This is not a good maneuver to be in. Both cars in on the defensive move. Nobody hitting the ball right there. So close. Zaza rolls it in slowly. RCD keeps it in on the forecheck. And how they kept that out, I don't know. But it is right in front of their net. There's MD22 and goes in. finally 144 the time.
What is this? RCD with the pass, and Quixotic could not get anything on that. And MD22 just flicking the ball with the tip of that Dominus bumper to get a little bounce shot in. Oh, that is frustrating for Weird Names.
Oh, for sure. The aggression we're seeing is just nonstop to boot with the altitude of the ball off the back end. We got RCD giving that a strike. It's going to get responded by Chaotic, or Quixotic rather. MD22 there again. Chaotic responding on the other end for this Weird Names team. Weird Names, nice low roller.
There it is.
That had to happen, and it had to happen soon. Otherwise, they are done. This orange team not having as good as a game this time around as they did in the previous rounds.
And Vertical Sweep just completely overcommitted, overconfident in their offensive play. And Weird Names, of course, once they see that open goal, Quixotic got a great clear out of that and followed it up. Feeling the confidence now, let's see if they can gather up this little bit of momentum and turn it into something.
Oh, almost got that there. Zaza with a nice stop. Quixotic on the other end, though. He's on that wall. RCD, can he keep control? No is the answer to that. Zaza on the other side. Beautiful! Yes! I like that. I'm going to give that 3 grunts right there. That was a nice high strike from Zaza to go in, and no follow through from Quixotic necessary, I don't think.
No, not at all. It was dead on perfect. Quixotic was there, I think, more of as like a screenplay type thing. Something that you would see in RLCS. I'm sure Wavepunk is loving that one. As the defense comes off the backboard for the defense of the ball. That I just said defense twice. That was weird. Yeah, just did not work out for him. Now 3-2. They're trying to come back. We might see an overtime again.
Oh, we'll see what happens over here. Zaza, you've got time, and it's running out very quickly on you. Good challenge right there. Couldn't quite meet it as the defense for this vertical sweep was just a bit too strong. Quixotic with a shot, no follow through, just a little bit over the bumper. Zaza there, and NC22 is going to get it out of the way. Now we got it right in front of the slot once again. Team Orange really putting on all the binders right now, trying to get the offensive moving quickly as they've only got 30 seconds to go. Ball right in front of their net, and that is going to hurt right there. MD22 with the goal with only 27 seconds left. Is it over?
I don't know, man. That right there is a tough call, but I love this little passing play. It's the classic 2's passing play, except it's completely sped up to about 20 times compared to what you would see in the normal ranking of silver of everybody else's. RCD slams one home off kickoff.
Damn it. 25 seconds left, and we went from a 1-goal difference on a really close game between these two teams to a 3-goal spread with half a minute left. We went from super tight to super loose. This has got to be painful if you are on the orange team for sure. Damn it, Weird Names. I'm feeling for you, man. Here's RCD picking up the fuel as it goes off the back end. It's just a formality at this point as we are running into a teenage number of seconds remaining before it's all over for this series. Vertical Sweep has won both games in the series of this best of 5. We are just finishing up game number 3. Nice move there by Quixotic. That's what you needed to pull off, minus all of the other goals that you just let in the last 30 seconds. Could have been a totally different turnaround. Instead, we've got this.
Yeah, and that right there was just credit of the defense, not able to clear that out, trying to go for a wall pinch instead of a normal solid clear. It's not going to work out. Doesn't matter, though. 5-3 will probably be the score. If not, Vertical Sweep will still take this one and move on to the finals to face Rompers for Men.
Well, I called it. RCD and MD22, they definitely had a much bigger challenge from the Weird Names, but when it was all said and done, they just managed to maintain. And that final game has just got to sting so much. Doesn't matter, though. They swept it, they kept it, and now they're moving on.
Yeah, most definitely. Like it's well fought by Weird Names. Jaja and Quixotic were all over the chat saying that they were definitely going to take it to Vertical Sweep, and they did. Yeah, the scoreline may not show it in a 3-0 defeat here in the semis, but still, such close games, especially in the mid game. It was just so close, and then somehow Vertical Sweep able to just pick up all the pieces and just throw it at the net.
So who's in the finals? We're doing the finals next, I do believe, yes?
Finals are next, yeah. Rompers for Men, as in Air and Zolhe, otherwise known as applesauce. I don't know if you want applesauce on your romper, though.
No, I don't want anything about. I don't want a romper. Anyway, Rompers for Men versus who?
Vertical Sweep. MD22 and running Cat Dog. Guys, we're going to take a very, very short break just to get our bearings again after that absolutely chaotic semifinal here at Gfinity and Rocket League Central. You're watching the Gfin 2v2 for NA here on Rocket League Central. Welcome back, everybody, to Gfinity here, the 2v2 for the North American continent. I am Ninja Rider. With me, I don't know if he's on the left or the right, or if he's even on camera, Jethro Tull from the Beer League, or the Fridge Network, I should say.
No matter what, I'm here in spirit. That's all you need to know.
Is that what, okay? Well, all right. As long as you're playing your flute, that's all that matters.
Yes, on one leg. That's the main.
On one leg, yes, of course. Swinging your hair about. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. So we are in the
Robert.
finals. This is going to be a hell of a game here, as long as these players can get in and started. Rompers for Men versus Vertical Sweep. Am I right?
You are correct. Yes. So again, just to reiterate the rosters: Rompers for Men, Air and Zolhe, otherwise known as Applesauce, and Vertical Sweep, MD22, and RCD, otherwise known as Running Cat Dog.
Well, you know who I'm going to favor. I mean, no secret of it. They did such a good job, pulling up their hats and pulling down their shirts in the last round. They put up a good fight against Weird Names, but at the end of the day, I'm going to go full blow on with RC and the rest of the crew on that. And I'm going to stand up so much that I'm going to put my pride on the line. That's what I'm willing to bet. I'm willing to bet my pride. So if they lose this round, I will promise you that I'll feel shame for the remainder of the night.
So wait a minute. Since you're a caster for the Fridge Network,
yes.
Does that mean is something in the fridge that we can bet?
Well, there's a lot of beer in the fridge. There's some vegetables and some baby carrots for late night.
Ooh,
snacking.
baby carrots.
Yeah, I like baby carrots, man.
Baby
But
carrots.
I don't really want to risk anything in there, so I'm willing to give you my pride.
Well, I mean, if your pride is worth less than a 6-pack, okay, I guess.
Yes, yeah, totally is. Let's do this thing. All right, my pride is on the line here. Let's do this thing. Let's get these players involved and get started.
As Aaron and MD22 have finally joined, these guys will just jump on the field, so no big deal. Let's get this thing underway.
Oh, man. Okay, so now Vertical Sweep is in orange already. I'm kind of screwed cognitively. MD20. My favorite for this game, and it just gets started off on a hard hit in. And RCD! Only 4 seconds in. This is what I'm talking about right here. And you're going to see a lot of this, I think.
Air and Zol are a little bit cold, having to sit out and watch Vertical Sweep take on Weird Names in the last semi that we casted. So, yeah, they're probably going to need a little bit of warm-up, and obviously you got to take advantage of that.
Well, the first game is going to be a shocker. Fortunately, they do have some insurance games under their belt, as this is going to be a best of 7. And we all know that a quick shot like that only pisses people off. It doesn't really mean any sort of serious indicator as to who's going to win the game. Look at this, almost going in. Air with a nice stop right there. And there's going to get bumped up forward to Zol. Zol trying to work on the passing play, and the deflection's going to be real as it gets moved on by RCD. RCD carrying it into the center, bumped up, and MD22 now is going to move in there. The man in the bowler hat loses possession of the ball, and now Zol, he's going to go in over to Air. Good passing play here. Rompers for Men. Come on. Oh, no. RCD instead. The Vertical Sweep looking to get in there. A little bit deep and maybe another goal in their pack as we got a juggling attempt going on between RCD and Zol. That's going to come into a fight that squeezes the ball all the way down to the other end. Let's have a nice soft pop up there, and it does get missed by the defense. That sets things up, and a good last-second hit right there. Zol was almost certain of a goal at that possession. However, not so fast. 3:49 the time remaining, and oddly enough, play is continuing with no goal in the blue slot just yet. Here's RCD. Good stuff there by Air. Now it's going to come in with MD22. He moves in, and he hits it just a little bit too hard. Follow-through is going to work, but Air makes a decent stop. Minute and a half consumed so far in this 5-minute game. MD22 can't guide that in. Zol drives it sideways, but you can't quite get but the sensation that MD and RCD of this crew, Vertical Sweep, is in dominant form so far in this game. Possession in zone all the way in the blue side. Speaking of blue side, here's Air moving it up for Zol, and he can't do much but hit it off to the other end as MD22 fades back for some fuel. We're going to get Air on that. Nice play by Air and an even better stop by RCD. 2 minutes now consumed in regulation. 1-0 the score between these two teams. Here's Air on the edge. Back up over RCD. More concerned about the fuel than the ball. Has the ball go all the way down to the other end where we do have some play off the backside. Zoll is there right up in front. It manages to drift in. MD22 couldn't quite get the bicycle kick. And that's going to result in a tie.
Yeah, but Zolhe right there actually bumped into RCD, who is now rocking a Manta right now. He's changed every series. So, yeah, the big bump right there is pretty much what caused that to happen. Now, MD22 could not scramble back in time to make any sort of play happen anyways. And now they're tied as we reach or getting close to halftime. These guys definitely much closer in skill.
Here we are with Air. His shot's going to go and hit the crossbar. RCD tries to slow things down, but that only leads to giving it another strike. This vertical sweep team trying to move things up here outside of their own zone for a change. Finally succeed with a nice live waller. That's going to go into the corner where Zoll is at. And Zoll moving right back down, popped up, and it is going to go nowhere with Air. Hard strike off the backboard, no go at all, and it rolls all the way back into the blue. We do have Zoll there picking up the fuel. This is Rompers for Men trying to manipulate this ball into the zone, but they can't quite pull it off as Air is there. Now Air, no forward pass, tries to carry it out himself. It's going to result in a violent strike on the back end. There we go with a follow-up, and RCD with a nice stop, deflecting that just off to the side, as we talked about before. All you got to do is deflect the ball. You don't have to actually make anything more than just general contact with it on the defensive side. You'd be surprised just how effective you are. There we go off the corner. Go ahead.
Especially against a team like Rompers for Men, who are so prevalent on the offensive pressure. That's basically how they play their whole game, is all offense all the time. As MD22, as soon as I start talking, shuts me up.
And I was just going to say, you cursed yourself by opening your own yap. We've got RC and MD shutting you down there to make it 2-1. But, you know, it is a point. There is a strategy to be said for just waiting for the other team to make a mistake and always, always, always being on that offense. And it does seem to be the case that we're seeing. Actually, both sides could be argued to be playing that type of role. Here's we got with MD22. It's going to get challenged hard by Zoll right in the mid-drift. RCD getting stuffed on that play. Now it's Air coming in. He wasn't by himself, though. MD is going to drive that into the corner after he picks up the fuel, and he goes out softly down to the mid-zone, trying to drive it in there. And look at that! Whoa! That was not intentional at all, but he'll take it.
Look at this right here, the carry. MD22 following, gets the double touch, and the ground pinch into Zoll, which knocks it right back to MD22 right there. The speed came from that ground pinch. I don't think Zoll was expecting the ground pinch to actually happen. You don't see it too much here in doubles, but these guys don't care. They're making things happen now. Just like that.
Oh! Well, shut my yap before I can even open it. Now we got Air responding on another goal right after a draw. And I don't like to mentally count these as even points in a game. Just because of the nature of them. When you think about whether a team is better than another team, you try to eliminate those goals if you can, because they don't really give you a good indication of the level of skill involved. Here we go with Zoll. He moves in as his team carried it up on a solid win on the draw. Now Air is there. That goes into the corner. A little bit of fuel pickup. Air moving in around. Zoll looking for the cut. That gets rejected quickly off on the roof. Now RCD. And a head-on-head is what we're seeing a lot here. A lot of open... But it does continue to stay deep in the orange zone with 33 seconds left to go here in this game. 3-2 the score. There we are off the back end. MD22 can't finish that job, and he's just going to have to be satisfied with only 1 point forward. Maybe time to start killing that clock if they can't get a goal. Only 20 seconds left. It shouldn't be out of the realm of impossibility. MD22 off the side here with Air. He missed out on his attempt. Good hard shot right there. RCD is going to make a stop, and it goes off the backboard. No follow through means no goal going off the corner, and no one in position either. Means the ball's going to go deep into that blue side, and now it's just a matter of it hitting the ground. We could see a bit of an insult, but I don't think we're going to see a goal as Vertical Sweep walks away with the win in game number 1.
So how's that Pride feeling right now?
Well, you know, pretty good because we won the first game. I mean, MD and RCD, they're doing solid. It was a close round, but my pride is still mine, and that's the main thing.
Yeah, and I like how Rompers for Men definitely not giving up at any point. Plenty of shots on board for sure. The question is, though, there was only 4 saves coming out from Vertical Sweep, so not a lot of accuracy happening, although Rompers for Men is seeing a lot of ping for some reason.
Yeah, if I were to equate this game to a bar fight, it would be two bouncers doing the girl swing where they windmill towards each other and just hope that they can land hits. I didn't really see any direct skill. I saw just a lot of aggression in this game.
Yeah, and it is the first game of the finals, so I know both of these teams are able to change it up pretty much on a whim. So we'll have to see what their strategy is and if they're going to change it at all coming into game 2.
All right. Well, MD and RCD, they're going to win. That's all I've got to say about this. I'm nothing but stoked about them. They nearly walked away from that one. No dominance, not the dominance that I thought I was going to see, but still the win. Whether or not they can carry this on to game number 2 remains to be seen. Let's find out right now here as we do have a fresh draw. There's Zal curling it around the back end. Air looking to come in, but he was in a poor position to get any real energy on that ball to send it in. Instead, RCD is going to move it out. And we're not going to see much in the way of an early goal this time around. Zol with a nice save right there. Not quite sure who picked up the fuel on that play, but I do know the ball got squeezed out to the roof, back down. MD22 looking to make that go in. Kits off the crossbar, and now it's between Zol and RCD to juggle around. Right up in front, there's Air. And it goes out, and we are having some minor issues here on server side, at least from my perspective. RCD now carrying it in. He picks up the fuel. There's Air. And Zol is going to give that a strike. Again on the defense over here. Aaron Zol on the defensive early, but they're doing better, at least keeping that hole plugged. No score yet as we consume the first minute of this game. Here we are off the back wall. Nice shot there. Goes just wide of the net. Picking up the fuel is Air. Forward pass over to Zol. Nice passing play results in a poor shot. And it's going to get responded to appropriately by this orange crew. Now here's RCD.
Ooh.
Look at the guidance there. Oh, and Zol gets it out in time. And a nice move. I don't know if he had a fuel problem or what. It might have been something like that, but still nothing is occurring other than pressure now. RCD, MD22, both of them keeping it in this zone. Here's Zol moving it up forward. Zol getting rejected. MD puts it back into the neutral zone as Air decides to give him a slap in the face on the other end. Now right up in front, RC. Nobody there to challenge it there, so Aaron Zol are just going to have to basically wait by and wonder what could have been as that opportunity disappears before their very eyes. In the corner now, RC hitting MD. That's a bad idea, not a good way to communicate with your teammates as it almost turned into an opportunity. Correction, did turn into an opportunity. Rejection there is going to be solid by MD22, and another hard strike gets turned off by Zol. Ball into the mid-drift. Let's go up and over to RCD. Him and Air are going to watch that ball go dead straight down as it runs out of energy. Now going into the blue zone as Zol gets it the back bumper. RC chasing after that. Zol gets it a piece instead. And now possession is his as he sends it towards the hole. There we are with him. 2 and a decent save, and RCD the one to send it away. Now RCD again. Up. And slowly down, Zol giving that a bit of a flip to make sure it gets knocked out, and then cutting it sideways T-bar style, almost connecting with that to send it in. That would have been a sailor send-off indeed, but instead we're scoreless as Air stops the ball. Looking to turn around, get past the defender. RCD not going to be able to do anything other than try to go to the end and then stop right there. Not even at the mid-drift, rather, as we got MD22 moving in. Aerial this time, different approach, and he's going to get it!
Oh, no!
Oh, the backup defense is real. This time it's Zol who's going in, and Air makes the goal. Good turnaround play right there. And this is finally Rompers for Men on the board first.
Look at this right here. Zol with a great save, and Air realizing that they might be able to make a little bit of a breakout play. MD22 was there, could not read it though, because the ball was coming from the other side. Should have known that somebody was coming, the way that these guys play. But no, we now have Rompers for Men taking a very late game. RCD shutting you up, saying, no, you guys can't have this. No. This is going to be a much closer game than you think.
I love it. And we've seen this how many times with RCD and MD22. These guys, this vertical sweep, they come back very, very quickly, whether it's right off the draw in the beginning of the game or after they get scored on, or even in some cases after they have already scored. We are wonderfully and glorious tied right now as 150 remains in this game. Getting that ball sent down to the orange zone. RCD giving it a strike up. Zol going out sideways. Mid-drift is secured. RCD moves it up, trying to put out that pressure up there. This tie game is going to have to get broken at some point. Better sooner than later as a nice high arcer. Zol puts it off to the side, kills off that energy, and no follow-through is available for anybody there right there. Again, we do see Aaron Zol working together on the defense. This time the aerial stop in the play. RCD moving up. Nice pass up there, and it's going to get stuffed right back into the mid zone. RCD trying once again. I'm liking this. Vertical sweep has now found a little bit of comps as we do have him going off to the side. Nice shot there, high and wide. I meant to say Kutzma. Oh, and Zoll gets the goal. 205 remaining. Rather, 105 remaining. I'm stumbling on myself over here. I can't believe this game. Aaron Zoll really have changed things up, and finding themselves in the lead is something they definitely deserve.
MD22 had to try to scramble back from the corner. He was following the ball a little bit. RCD still challenging. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why you don't ball chase everybody. MD22 had no boost and could not get back in time for that save. He might have been able to if he had a little bit of boost and plus the flip, but no, not going to work out. Rompers for men, definitely showing why rompers are for men.
Let's go with MD22. Nice soft play leads to a nice soft shot that's going to go wide, deflected by air and sent into that corner. MD22 giving it another hard strike, and they're trying to keep it in the threat zone as much as they can, but so far cannot even attain that as we do see the ball heading into the mid zone. Zoll's going to direct it back even deeper. Nice attempt, but MD22 coming in aggressive one more time. Both sides trading shots here. RCD this time T-boning that far into the corner on the other side. Now Zoll, his shot, that's going to go far wide and not able to get picked up on either as RCD. No deflection. Aaron's got a chance. Oh, and RCD takes that one away. And with 10 seconds remaining, 2-1 to score. This just might be a tie series. And here's RCD.
Oh.
The pass doesn't quite connect at all. Here's one more chance. Can we bomb it in here, MD? Oh, no! That was so close to being a tie. Oh, damn it. Rompers for men win game number 2. We have got ourselves a tie series on incredibly close games.
I have no idea how close that was when the ball touched the ground right before that goal line. But we were both, Jethro and I, were totally thinking that was going to go in, and it did not right at the last second. I mean, you cannot get closer than that at all. I mean, 2-1 here. Rompers for men nearly let it go. Nearly.
And we got to get like a cameraman or something like at the horse races for that, because that could have been right over the line as far as I'm concerned. From my perspective, that was right on the nose. Good game either way. Rompers for men picking up the second victory. Let's get ready for game number 3 in this best of 7 series tied between both teams. Romper for men in blue, vertical sweep in orange.
All right, chat. What are you thinking? We got a tie series on our hands, 1-1. After that impressive performance of Rompers for men, what are you thinking, everybody?
4:57 and still no goal. I'm already amazed as the ball goes into the orange zone. There's Zoll carrying it up along the sides to try to glide that one into and manages to pull it off. Big surprise right there. RCD, I think, gave that up for MD, and MD did not realize that RCD gave it up. The miscommunication cost them an early point 13 seconds into the game.
I'll have to disagree with you on that one. RCD was on the backboard, and he saw it coming. He actually jumped for it. He just completely missed, and that is probably one of the hardest things you can do in Rocket League, other than a passing play. Speaking of passing plays, Aaron Zoll connecting again here for the early lead.
My pride is in threat. 4:43. We're already got 2 points up here. Aaron Zoll. Little bit of a change up right there, and definitely something the vertical sweep is not used to in this tournament at the very least. Here we go. RCD. And I think somebody clipped the equalizer goal. I want to take a look at that a little bit later. Or the near equalizer goal. Here's air right up in front. RCD rejected. Ball comes up high and right back down for MD22 going sideways. MCD, nice long there, setting things up. There's our side play. MD22 chasing after that. He gets past it first by air. There's RCD with a nice attempt and another one. Oh, and a great stop by Zoll. He keeps it alive. Zoll going to chase it up, and it looks like he wants to draw blood now. Can't do it. RCD with a save. And right away, great opportunities on both sides and even better saves as another shot goes here. MD22 stopping that. Here's Zoll going to come in. That's going to be air now, and this time it finally goes in as we are seeing what could arguably be called straight up dominance by Zoll and air of this Rompers for Men crew.
and they finally seem to have gotten their affairs in order. They've stopped fighting with each other, and they're just on it right now. Vertical Sweep has absolutely no answer at this point.
There's nice save there by RCD. Just to play the goalie. That ball is right up in front. What the hell happened to MD22 and RCD is my big question. They must have given up the control to their little brothers. They are falling apart here in this game. Minute and a half consumed. They can't even get it out of their own zone. There's MD22 chasing up, picks up the fuel, but leaves the ball behind. That's going to give Zool an opportunity to give it a gentle nub. And look at this. Why? Why are we seeing what we're seeing right now? Crew.
I mean, Vertical Sweep right there on the defense. Okay, RCD should not have been where he was at. He should have been cycling back, grabbing some boost, and getting ready for a shot, just in case. MD22, I'm not quite sure what he was doing.
I think they're panicking. I think they're nervous. I think they see that they're up against somebody that they can't quite handle. I mean, we saw evidence of outright cockiness in earlier games when they were dominant, and now this time around, they might be nervous enough that they're making mistakes. Here we go. Finally, MD gets on the board. 3 minutes remaining. 3:01 to be exact. But, yeah, they've got to do a lot more than what we've just been seeing here for the past two if they want to walk away with a win on this tied series.
Yeah, they really do. I mean, Rompers for Men, like I said, they're just firing on all cylinders at this point. Firing on all cylinders. Afterburners are lit. Everything's going correct for them. But they're putting themselves there. And Vertical Sweep need to make smarter challenges and start breaking out the plays that we know that they can make.
Speaking of plays, there goes one off the side to nobody. It's going to get picked up by Air on a collision course with him and RCD. MD22 challenging out Zoll on the other end. A little bit of body play is going to happen there before it gets knocked out forward of their own slot. Oh. And look at this. Yes, sir. That's what I like to see. RCD getting the goal. 2:36 to time, shy of the halfway mark, and they cut the lead by 2 goals. So this is an attainable thing, but not something you want to see yourself in with the halfway point looming like that.
Yeah, running Cat Dog just blowing it out at this point. You can tell he wants to make this as close as possible, getting better challenges here in the last 30 seconds or so, doing much, much better at covering the ball.
Zoll gingerly bringing that ball up around the safety zone outside of his own net is going to have no problems until he decides to forfeit it for no reason whatsoever. RCD by himself on the play, gives it a bit of a jump, and the ball pops into the orange zone anyway. There's MD22. MD giving it a bit of a nudge. That turns into a shot. Almost goes in, and that would have been a glorious fluke indeed. MD22 looking for another opportunity. Zoll's going to bump that out of the way, but here comes RCD to help out. Nice and slow, wins the race. Air gets that out of the way. Now here's Zoll chasing it up along the wall. Zoll's going to try to make sure it gets out of that zone as much as he can, and he dumps it down into the far corner, buying a little bit of time perhaps to get some fuel as the ball comes up by MD22. We go with a nice soft play. RCD, Air deflects that one out on the other way. 2-goal spread between these two teams. Minute 38 remaining. MD22 making for a shot on that. Can't get the follow-up. Now RCD with 4 checking plans of his own, looking to make a shot. That one's just a bit too strong. Goes high and wide. Takes out the body, though. And with a minute 25 remaining, it's not looking good over here as there's a decent shot. MD22 just barely deflects that out of the way. And right in front of net. That'll gets the goal. 5-2, minute 16. This second game is definitely leaning in one direction.
Zolhe has obviously played lawn darts in his life, because that's exactly what he did right at the ball, hitting Achieves' noob corner, Kappa, and just it ends up going in. Surprisingly enough, there was a defender there in the net, but he'd been bumped in there, and there was no way that he could recover that one. 5-2, trying to extend this lead to make sure Vertical Sweep has no chance to catch up.
I am bothered by what I'm seeing with this 3-goal spread that might turn into a 4-goal spread. Air deflecting that away as the 1 minute shows up here to remain for the game. Let's get caught up as the ball goes down into the orange zone. There's Zoll. Nice shot by Zoll.
Absolute savagery.
My fear right now is that Vertical Sweep is going to be affected by this in the next game. This game is over. It's done. Accepted. We're finished. We got a 4-goal spread. It's a formality at this point. How are they going to handle this going into the next game? It's not a good feeling to get blown out by your opponent, especially in the finals. This is game number 3. And look at that. Air with another great save.
You can tell that they're not phased by it. They're still trying to make plays. They're still trying to make things happen on whenever they get a chance on the offensive end. Yeah, it's a little bit complex here for twos, but it's still something like that right there. RCD coming out of the corner for this. He was upside down, able to grab just a touch of boost and just slam one home. The power of the Mantis coming through.
Yeah, especially popping it off the hood like that worked out quite nicely. Mind you, it's a 3-goal spread. You got to give credit to the effort, never giving up, never say die, and all of that. Maybe they can pull off a miracle. I know I would sure like to see it happen, but at the very least, I certainly hope that the vertical sweep doesn't walk out of this match with a 3-goal spread. I want to get them at least one more goal in here before this is done. Give them a little bit of pride at the very least. Here's Air on the stop. It's going to bounce off the back end. RCD not getting the fuel, not getting the ball, not getting the game. Air on the other end. Oh, Zol just got trashed as well. Series of unfortunate events indeed as RCD goes down to the other end. That long shot goes nowhere. That is going to be a 3-goal spread. Rompers for men. Good job. You are in the lead of the series, 2-1.
2-1, just like you said. Aaron Zolhe finally pulling one out. They're acting much more like a team, definitely. Whereas RCD and MD22 just they were having a really hard time, and it's tough to watch them have a hard time because I love watching these guys just like you do now, Jethro. But Air and Zolhe, like I said, they have played together for so long and in so many tournaments. They're almost unstoppable.
Well, that's and my fear is kind of what you're saying is that RCD and MD didn't perceivably, at least to me, do anything very different. They just didn't do it good enough, and as a result, they lost that game by a serious amount. And so when you're looking at this and you're going, okay, my game plan didn't work. What do I do about this in the next game? Like, do you take a risk and try something different, or do you just kind of buckle down and focus, or what do you do? Because somewhere in your brain is going to be saying, you did something horribly wrong, you need to fix it.
Well, yeah, you could do that. You could also just make sure that the challenges that you're making are very smart and your rotation is good. Now, obviously, this is twos. It's a little bit different than threes as far as rotations go, but they just need to be a little bit more smart in how they hit the ball. And I think they'll find themselves in a much better position than they have here in Game 3.
Draw one by vertical sweep on that fresh play as we start this new game, and it's going to get hit hard out quickly. I'm not going to call that an opportunity for Team Blue, but right away there's going to be some back and forth here as both teams want to try to draw blood early on if they can to try to set the theme for the entire thing. Here's RCD rejecting on the defense. He's going to come in around and a nice juke up there, back to himself. A little bit too slow to move forward, but here's MD22 helping out. Zol with a nice cut. That's going to send the ball sideways. And as we consume the first 30 seconds of this game, the forward pass over to Air might turn into something real had RCD not given that a bump on his roof. Ball coming back down over to Zol. That's going to curl around the corner on a classic setup right in front of the hole. And right there, nicely done. That is a textbook basic goal done by a single player, curling that ball around and then slamming it into the net.
Yeah, and doing exactly what he needed to do. Air probably realized he wasn't going to be there and told Zol, I can't make it. So he just made it happen. A little bit of traffic there just in case he'd be able to block it. But no, Zol is way too consistent of a player to miss that one.
Here's RCD on a fresh play. Once again, not too happy about the fact that he's finding himself fending in front of his own net instead of offending instead of the other in front of the other. Ball right up, and Zol's going to stuff that one through before picking up the fuel. Coming on off the side, RCD now dringing it up and not going to be able to drag it much further than they drigged it. That is going to be hit off the side and lost by both. Now Zol comes in, hard cut, sends it right back in on the other end. MD22, that stopped slightly by Zol. Nice hit there, collision and mid-drip. Right up in front, RCD making no mistake. Good effort. Not by RCD, but MD22 on that play.
Yeah, MD22 made a great play on that in traffic, too. Took a hit. But Zol, I think, just didn't realize that the play was developing that fast. And once it hit the ceiling, it was going to be too late for him to get there in time to make any sort of difference. 1-1 here with plenty of time left.
And a welcome goal indeed as it's going to go into the deep blue once again. RCD chasing after that on a forward flip. Zul going in on the side, but he didn't have enough gas on the exchange. He decided to fade back for a defensive position. Here's Air letting that ball go sideways. MD22 trying to come in, and Zol messes that up. We got a back kick. There's RCD. Zol with a volleyball. Let's bump that in, RC. Come on. Nothing's going to happen. Aaron gets that out on the other end. MD22 is there, and Zol knocks it out past the crowd, partially at least, into the mid zone. Here's Zol. RCD up to MD22. Great passing play. Can't quite get completed as Aaron got a piece of that, and that goes over. Interception by MD. Keeps it into the blue side. Now Air. Oh, nice cut. Goes up instead of towards the net. Now MD22 up in the roof. Right back down. Not going to happen. Let's get Arrow on the play. Now with Zol. And a little bit of juggling is going to happen with RCD. Double bumping that on the back corner as the two of them come around. Here comes Air hard, looking to make a statement. And MD22 is going to stop that ball from continuing its path right across the orange zone. There's Zol. Up and over with RCD on the back. It's going to get picked up hard by RCD before Air can do anything about that. But Zol makes it a stop on the other side. These rumors for fire.
Oh!
Sorry, rompers for men. Look at that. 215. And Air gets it in just as I find myself slightly tongue-tied. Zol, good hard strike, good hard pass. Air cuts it in, and the defense had no choice.
Yeah, our RCD found himself on the wrong end of that play completely. Running Cat Dog cannot run fast enough with no boost like that after a big, huge commitments. But now they might be able to make up for it.
Oh, no, right in front, MD22. That's what I like to see right there, ladies and gentlemen. A response from the Orange crew. Not moments, but seconds after the last goal. There we go with another quick draw win. I know what I said earlier about it not counting for skill. I ain't here for skill. I'm here for points, and that is going to be a tie game. Vertical sweep, good shot right there.
It was a fantastic shot. I mean, they took advantage of the fact that the kickoff didn't go quite well for Rompers for Men, and you have to. Any point that you can make in the finals here at Gfinity, mind you, the prize for this, 60 pounds. Now, that's pounds sterling, of course, for the...
Also real money.
Folks. Real money, yes. Based off of the sterling silver, of course. But no, we did the conversion. I think it's something like $110.
Wow. That's first place or the whole thing?
First place only.
Nice.
I might be wrong on that. But it was actually quite a decent chunk of change, and these two teams are fighting it out like crazy. The voices in my head tell me it's $76 now, which is still quite a good chunk of change.
Oh, yeah. No, that'll definitely pick you up dinner and a beer for sure. Let's get RCD trying to get a goal. That shot's going to go wide. He tried to glide that one in. Fading back on the defense. Air grinds it up, and MD22 comes back out to challenge this vertical sweep crew. Sends out the ball right up in front of Rompers for Men, but Zol knocks it out instead anyway. MD22 fighting up the body there with Zol results in a bit of confusion. Big time confusion. RCD striking MD hard on that play. A little bit of misplacement leads to an opportunity, but RC keeps the head on his shoulders and therefore control of the situation. MD22 now giving it a bump out forward as we got vertical sweep trying to be on the savior stage. We got 36 seconds left. They've got to get a goal on this one here. Rompers for Men ahead in the series, 2-1. Nice wreckage there. Zol goes down at the hands of MD22. Let's see what happens over here as we got RCD giving a nice high sail. It hit the roof and came down.
Oh!
And it goes in.
Oh my! I was not expecting that to go in at all. As RCD just kind of pops it up. Air couldn't scramble back, could not get in the time, and MD actually knocked it down.
That shot
right there
had
was
all
the
kinds
kicker.
of weird on it. That's all
Yeah,
I can say. It barely hit the roof, so you figure the angle is wrong. Players in the way.
Yeah, no. It's that little touch by MD22 to throw it back at his teammate, and RCD was pointed the correct way, so that's what made it work. And these guys are poised to win this.
Do it. RCD down in front. Chances over, and a smart play there by vertical sweep, letting that ball hit the ground. They have tied the series 2 games apiece in this best of 7. Stand by. We're going to get ready for game number 4. I lie. Game number 5. Man, game number 5. Time flies.
Time flies when you're having fun, and Jethro from the Fridge Network is having a blast here at Gfinity. These guys are absolutely putting on a massive show right now. We're along for the ride at this point.
I'm stoked, man. All I gotta say is I'm stoked. I was starting to get worried about RCD and MD20, especially with having the performance they did in the previous game, I thought for sure they were going to be in trouble in this game. But they not only did they keep it together, but they actually eked out a win. And I say eked out a win. They barely won this match. It could have easily gone into overtime. They could have walked away with a loss, and then they would have been in serious trouble. So good job to you boys. I'm rooting for you in the next game.
I would like to make just a quick shout out to one of the communities of Rocket League that has just exploded in popularity lately. The ML Doubles is in the chat. Say hi to those guys. Great organization over there at the minor league doubles. If you want to get in on some doubles action in a more of a league format, and you are, if I'm not mistaken, it's Diamond 3 and below. Is it Diamond 3? Platinum. Something like that. Anyways. Right, Diamond is the cutoff. Thank you, voice in my head. Thanks to Chiefs. I'm in there. I'm nowhere near that level. So if you guys want a little bit of action, check out ML Doubles when you get a chance.
Fresh game means a fresh draw, and it is going to be won by Team Orange as a hard strike squeeze sends the ball up into the roof. There's Zoll with a hard move, and there we go. Our first, only 10 seconds into the game. That was quick.
Who needs time when Rompers for Men trying to make a statement, a fashion statement even? MD22 cannot catch up to said fashion statement. They really want to take the next one.
Well, that's a good way to make the mark happen. With only 10 seconds in, they definitely set the pendulum in one particular. And they're going to continue on that. They're going to have to try to stop this attempt by MD22. That one going in and then bouncing out down into the corner. MD22 continuing possession of that ball, fighting it out with air as it goes up and back on down. Follow through is not going to work, and instead is going to be a threat. Oh, that was garbage. Long play from Zoll goes in.
Look at this right here. RCD trying to challenge on the offensive side, knowing that he just could not rotate back. Although that might have been the smarter thing to do, is just rotate back, knowing that a shot was coming out. Probably could have flipped and saved a little bit of boost, and then jumped up in the air to knock it into his own corner and gain control. But now they might be able to tie this up, maybe get a little closer.
Yeah, they can at least get closer to it, cutting that in half. Look at that, spawning very quickly, right on the draw once again. And this has got to be, the third or fourth goal just in this series alone.
Yep.
Where vertical sweep has been able to get a point right off the draw. And that's a strong factor, obviously. They might have been practicing just that part of the game alone.
They probably have been. If I remember right, when in their threes matches, they did have some trouble on the kickoff. So I'm sure they spent some time trying to perfect their kickoff speed and strategies.
Well, it's definitely paying off for them, as we've seen it go in their favor so many times on the draw. However, they'd still have to make up at least 1 point to tie this game up here, and it looks like they just might pull it off. Continuing on that ball, RCD knocks it off of his hood, tries to juke it past the second defender, and Zoll's just a bit too strong for him. They go with a forward flip, sending it up into the corner, and Zoll a little bit too strong there. Going to inadvertently be a safety play. Now air comes in, Ooh. Cut on that, and RCD just got it in time. Now MD's going to be all over that one, and that shot almost hits the post, instead going just wide of the net. RC looking for it. There's our setup on a high altitude, and a nice move there by air. Very close moves on either side here. As now it might go in. No, that one's just wide as well. Play continues here. It goes back into the blue zone. There's air picking up the gas. Going to challenge out of the car. Can't quite get the destruction. But now Zoll is there. Nice move by RC. Decent save. And a deflection.
Oh, the deflection.
Deadly.
There it is. Speaking of deadliness, the deflection, you can't get much better than this. Right here is MD22. I think that was a touch from Zoll. Trying to wrap it around the corner. And MD22, you can't, cherry picker, hello.
And what a touch. I mean, given the distance, given the approach, that was intentional as opposed to a skilled play. I'm calling it right now. As we got another play coming up here. There's air going right down to MD22. He has no problem stuffing that, but Zoll there to challenge, comes in to hit hard. Air looking sideways. Wow! The ball juggling is powerful with Zoll and air. I did not think that they would be able to suck it back in like that and almost come in with a second challenge one more time. RCD barely making a save on the play. It's going to be him again. There we go off the backside, and he doesn't even bother going into challenge on the goal, knowing full well he's got to defend, and defend he did. Look at that. RC, good luck to his team as he read that play properly all the way through. Now MD, come on. Oh, on the side on the other end. We're trying to get it go in, and it's not going to happen as we pass the halfway mark. There's MD22 setting it up. Air knocks it out. God damn it. What a goal. What a setup. And what a condition of events immediately before all of that.
Look at that right there. Air got such a good touch to send that towards the offensive end, and Zoll just had to speed it up just a little bit, little nudge there to make sure the defense can't cycle back. I think it was MD22 who was actually all the way in the other end trying to recover after a failed attempt.
Well, with 2 minutes remaining, they've still got a little bit of work to do over here. And so let's see if they can get it done with the ball going up and skipping off that roof, coming down to MD22. A little bit of a slow roller there. Oh, yeah, RCD in time. And it's almost as if MD knew it was going to happen. MD didn't even bother chasing after that ball after he screwed up on the original shot. He just stayed right there.
Well, you know what? Right there, that's evidence of the communication between these two guys.
Yeah.
MD22 was messed up. He knew he was messed up, and RCD was already lurking, waiting for the shot just in case it went high or something like that. And of course, MD22 will either see it or RC will see it and call him off. One of them called each other off to make sure that play happened. Now we're tied at 3. Romper's trying to get a lead right here.
Almost snuck that one in too. Zoll looked like he was going in for a bit of an innocence play. Instead, it's going to go back down into the mid zone with MD trying to make a challenge. Here we go off the back wall. Air flopping that around. Not too much effort, though. RCD is going to be able to give that a back strike, and Zoll redeflects that before it can be hit again. Now RCD. RCD, look at that. Nice bump up. Air saw the play and gives it a hard hit. Goes back into the corner. Playing defensive ain't the way these guys want to go. However, MD and RCD are putting up a decent challenge. Vertical sweep. Coming a little bit more alive in the latter part of this game. The ball comes up and right over is MD. There we go with a nice challenge right in front. And again, turn away at the last second. Great defensive play by Zoll of the Rompers for Men. Let's keep going here. Zoll looking for a bump. He got no accuracy on the play, though. And RCD is going to be able to keep that going as Air looks for a conventional setup and can't find it. Coming back right down. Zoll right in front of the hole, but it is MD22 is going to have no problems. And look at this, a potential nether goal. Squeezes it. RCD can't quite get the T-bone slice, and it is Zoll who's going to get stumped as well. RCD giving that a jump. Can't get the second on it, though. And now Air is going to force the issue, bringing that ball back into the orange zone. There we are off the center. That's RCD. RCD and Air with a nice stop. 13 seconds remaining. That would have been the game winner for sure. And the ball sitting right in front of the blue zone. This is not something that Rompers for Men expected to see happen. Right up in front. Overtime now looming. But what is this? Overtime is what it is.
Stop. Oh, Air could not get any velocity on that ball without having to miss the goal. And I don't think his teammate was confident in making the shot. So might as well take the overtime and just take a tactical reset here in Game 5 here in this game, 7-game series.
There's Air with a bit of a soft bump. And more or less gave up that ball to his opponents. There he is doing it twice in a row now, trying to give a problem as it goes into his own. RC chasing after that. We got ourselves some fuel googling, but it is going to be RCD unable to google it enough with giving him some hassle. Fading back, MD22 now taking up the helm of responsibility with that ball right in front of him. And it looks like he's got some issues as well, as we do have Zoll giving that a challenge. A little bit of trepidation. You can't get help the feeling of these two teams. They don't really want to make a big challenge of it. Here's Zoll, and another soft play goes out as we got MD moving that one up. Vertical sweep, unable to really meaningfully bring it out of their own zone. What was that? What was that? No. Was that a self-goal?
Not quite. Yeah, pretty much. I can see what RCD was trying to do. Rocket Cat Dog. That's a great one. Running Cat Dog, trying to get a pinch off of the post. And I don't think Psyonix really programmed posts to do that much. So, yeah, kind of tough. Air is actually asking for a server switch. I think that we can go ahead and do that.
Okay. So we got Rompers for Men in the series best of 7. There are 3 games. So the next game, if they can take it, they're going to win it. It's a good hard slog all the way through. I'm feeling shame for Vertical Sweep, but I'm hanging on to my pride. They are lagging in the series, though. we'll see how things continue here as we go into a new server that should be happening about, 30 seconds?
Yeah, we're just going to make sure that everybody's out and the server does close down. It does take a couple of seconds for Rocket League to catch up just a little bit, but that was actually a virtual server the whole time. So it didn't surprise it. It kind of surprised me that they waited so long to even suggest a new server, as they had like 100 ping pretty much the whole time I looked.
You know, and good spirits to them, and I think that's a bit of a kudos to the net code as well for Rocket League. You can arguably play a strong game with 100 ping against a guy who's got 30. You know, you don't get me wrong, you're disadvantaged, but they do a good job of trying to compensate for that. I don't blame this team, however, for making a request like that.
Nah, not at all. I mean, it is what it is. Maybe they were seeing some things that we weren't, and that's fair.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So I have my tally down as Rompers for Men at 3 and Vertical Sweep at 2.
That tally matches up for me as well, as we're waiting for these players to get into the new server.
Yeah, it looks like they're in. Everybody has joined the pitch. And we're ready to go. Rompers for Men at game point. Match point, I should say.
Tournament point, is that what you call it? Whatever it is. Win for Rompers for Men, and it looks like they're already getting challenged early, 7 seconds in, and that would have been a nice point for Vertical Sweep had they been able to stuff that hole. Instead, we got Air going down on the other end. That's going to be too easy for MD22 to play with. The squeeze play results, and we do have that ball coming up and getting ever so closer to the hole. That is MD right in front with nobody to challenge. He's going to ride it up on the hood and then get trashed by Zol. No real effort there to take the body out as the ball gets sent back into the blue zone. Off into the corner. There's RCD looking to pursue, and he's got no problems with that, seeing full well that Air's going to make that stop. Just decides to glide around along with that ball and him, as we do have some more pressure coming in here. Vertical Sweep trying to make it happen as it goes back into their own zone. There's RCD looking for a high one, and Air is going to be the real threat now, as RCD had to fade all the way back on a jumping save to keep that ball out of the net. Ball up into the corner on the other end, trying to communicate with his compadre, but it is Air deflecting everything everywhere, and now RCD is going to be the one carrying it in for Vertical Sweep, if only for a brief moment. MD there with a forecheck, double in a row. Not good enough. Can't quite pull it.
No,
Deflection is real. No. Did MD actually? No, that had to be the post.
Did.
Tell me that was the. He deflected that one out?
He did, yeah. I mean, it was an accident. He tried to flip out of the way, but again, the noob corner.
Damn it.
Chiefs was dying last time I used that term, but yeah, again, it got in the way.
325. RC just. What am I? Okay, so they prevented their own goal and then they scored on himself. Not once, but twice in a row. Am I right?
Feels bad man here for running Cat Dog, who has basically just needs to stop running at this point.
Dude, start walking, work your way up in speed. Here we go with a play off the side. It's going to go all the way. Oh, no. Right in front. Zoll trying to make that point number 2. And it is point number 2 indeed. 3:16 the time. A little bit of bouncing going on over here. But it is what it is on the score side. We're just going to have to deal with it. I'm getting disappointed, man.
Don't be disappointed. It is what it is. They'll figure it out.
Yeah, okay. In that case, I'm happy again. Fresh play. Time of pie. MD22 is there. Let's bump it up and give it a hard strike. Zoll. Nice stuff there. RCD can't get to it in time. Let's go up on the other end where we got MC. Nice stop. Nope.
Oh, what a play.
Zoll. I know. I was like, I can't do these things that they're doing. This is good skill. MD22 trying to guide that one in, but Zoll with another decent stuff as we're seeing some good effort now being thrown up by Vertical Sweep. Unfortunately, they still can't quite seem to close the deal. No score yet on their side, and we're getting ever closer to the halfway point of this game. I want to remind you, Team Blue, that is to say, Rompers for Men are in the lead in this series, 3-2. If they win this game, they not only win the series, they win the tournament. Hard shot by RCD, goes just wide of the net. MD22 now curling in back to try to come around. He's going to get taken out, and his setup goes for a knot as Air's going to carry that. A little bit of a high bump is going to send it sideways instead of towards one zone or the other. Now another play is going to be won by Air. That goes down deep. Zoll looking around for the back end. He's going to get challenged around by the Vertical Sweep defense.
There it is.
A hard shot by Air. That was beautiful right there. I've got to give credit where credit is due. That was a nice play.
I like this play from Zolhe. I mean, MD22 was all over him the whole time, but just could not catch up to the ball. And Zol throwing it towards the middle, Air obviously telling him that he's there, and Air knocking down the good vodka, finding top shelf.
2:03 the time, 3-0. This looks very dangerous for vertical sweep. They've got to try to get on the board, and they've got to do it soon if they want any hope of winning this game. And defending the goal like that, while it looks good, does nothing to help them in that cause. Ball out right in the middle. RCD watching it walk past him, and it goes down to the other side. Now MD22 with a hard strike. That one stopped by Air, and it goes in around the corner, curls up to the roof, and comes back down. Minute 38 remaining. We're not seeing any sort of real effort by vertical sweep over here, and it just went in again by Rompers for Men. Oh no, we need a miracle at this point if we're going to want to stay in the game for the Orange Crew.
Yeah, this is a tough one for vertical sweep, as so well fought this whole series. They are just having a hard time right now. I don't know if there's a little bit of tilt going on or just in their own heads, but they need to figure it out and figure it out now. They are running out of time.
RCD trying to figure it out, but the combination lock seemed a bit too complex, hitting that ball up higher than he needed. Zol, and now he's going to try to show him how it's done. Defensive is solid, however, vertical sweep trying to move it in. Nice jump by RC. That is good. All right, let's just hope that creates magic momentum that swings completely in the way of favor for vertical sweep for the remainder of the minute 12 of this game.
Look at that. Air even knew that he was done. He was cooked on that play. Trying to get something going here is RCD with the one goal to their credit and a minute left. Basically, it's a dream.
RCD, a bit of a fight on there is going to result in a deflection off his teammate. Air's going to have to get active with it as we do see some heavy activity now. I do like what I'm seeing. Nice trying to pop it up. MD down. Oh, and Air with it up. That's another attempt.
Oh my God, somebody clip that.
Finally, it goes in. Finally, it goes in, and what a heroic defensive effort by Air and Zolan here, but just the pressure right up in front. I'll take it.
Oh, my God. And what do you do as a defender? You're already on the goal line. You make a touch, it's going to go in. Like, there's just absolutely nothing you do, and just kind of hope that an offender will try to pinch it off of you, and it'll go the wrong way. But no, 2-4 here. Like I said, a dream, and they got full tanks.
MD22 carrying it on a fresh play. There's Zol trying to juke him out and can't quite pull it off. Air gets it out. There's another move. RCD gets a goal. And we are now just 1 point away from a potential tie. What are we seeing right here? I guess the pendulum really is swinging in their favor.
Look at this MD just with the slow carry play and no challenge coming out from Rompers for Men. These guys need to figure out if they're applesauce or their Rompers are in a tie.
30 seconds left to go. Zol fumbling up a little bit here in a zone. RCD opportunity, and it's going to go into his side instead. Now Zol bumping it out forward, rejected heavily by the defense. A vertical sweep now brought up forward, and there we go with Air on the forecheck. RCD now going after that. Judicious and liberal all at the same time. Use of rocket fuel is a good idea. With 6 seconds remaining, you need a miracle. Here we go. RCD curling it up around the corner. We got a high popper. The clock is over. We need 1 point. There we go. Down on the ground. And that is it. Rompers for Men have won the game on a very tight finish. Congratulations to this team for hanging on in the face of what they had to put up with.
That right there was probably one of the hardest things that MD22 and Running Cat Dog have had to face. Air and Zolhe play so well together. They just do. I don't know if they just had a lot of mistakes going on and their rotations just broke down. I'm talking about Air and Zol at that point. And that's why those 2 goals were scored in that last minute or two. But really, they had no momentum. And I think they realized that they had no momentum and just started hog and boost. And vertical sweep could not get anything going right there in that last 30 seconds when it worked out.
Yeah, that's a fair point for sure. And you know, let's face it, that one goal, the second goal they got in there was kind of a half fluke more than anything else. Both teams, both cars on both sides, just jamming away and hoping that the ball's going to go on one side of the line or the other, and it finally snuck in. Did lead to an exciting game, but at the end of the day, they were cleanly outplayed, I feel. unfortunately by the Rompers for Men.
Yeah, it was a little bit unfortunate, but it was unfortunate for Vertical Sweep. But I say well fought and extremely entertaining Rocket League brought to you.
Oh yeah.
And honestly, this whole stream would not have worked out if it wasn't for Achieves stepping in and pushing buttons and turning knobs instead of me, so that you guys can actually have some quality viewpoints. But on that note, I think we're gonna go ahead and either throw it to a host or just end the stream at this point. Jethro, dude, you got to come back, man.
I think I just might have to do that. I'm feeling pretty comfortable over here. The chair is better than a beanbag, so already it's better than the things over at the Fridge Network where I like to call home. So thank you for the invitation. Thank you for helping me or letting me help you cast on this game. And definitely, sure, I will be here again for sure.
Yeah, and this is pretty much the caliber of Rocket League that we have over here at Rocket League Central. Most of the time it's Gfinity, but these Gfinity tournaments have always been nuts. It's been good stuff pretty much every time. So on that note, thanks to Jethro Tull for stopping by from the Fridge Network. Check them out at the Fridge Network?
The website is thefridgenetwork.com. Our Twitch is fridge_network. And of course, on the website, you can get into our Discord channel. By all means, make yourself at home. We don't have as nice chairs as you guys do, but beanbags can be comfortable in their own right. So by all means, come on down.
Beanbags and a beer over at the Fridge Network. I am Ninja Rider. You can find me all over the place, but lately, pretty much the main caster for the College Carball Association. If you haven't heard of them, check it out on Twitter, College Carball, or my own Twitter at Ninja Rider RL. That is all over the chat. Of course, my Twitch and all that stuff. Everybody knows all that stuff. But for Achieves, myself, and Jethro, you have been watching the Gfinity 2v2 NA tournament here on Rocket League Central.